Here on 5 Live, they're just underway at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, with Mark Warburton and, first of all, Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Mark. 15 seconds in, I do marvel every single Saturday how Mark Chapman and the team managed to get through all of that before the 5:30 kickoff. Here we are at Selhurst Park. Mark will be back at half-time with more reaction to the day's football in the Premier League, the EFL, everything that's happened up and down the country, all the other sports news as well. But we are concentrating for now on our second Premier League commentary of the day. That is Crystal Palace against Manchester United here in southeast London. The sun is shining, the place is buzzing. Crystal Palace thumped Manchester United 4-0 back here in May. They're yet to win a Premier League game this season. They have kicked us off, they put the ball out of play, and Manchester United are playing in change kit this evening. Mainly white shirts, black numbers on the backs. De Ligt won a free kick. Mateta took the ball off him just beyond the halfway line. Palace fans didn't see too much in it. Mateta was physical and he had an attempt on goal from 40 yards out. The place is buzzing, Mark, as we'd expect.
Fantastic atmosphere, always is coming to Selhurst Park, and no doubt about that. Got to say that early chance, De Ligt was lucky. They both were physical. He fell to the ground and got away with a free kick, but an opportunity there for Palace.
So Crystal Palace, as I say, yet to win a Premier League game so far this season. 2 points for them. Manchester United, 2 wins and 2 defeats so far. If they can win this one, they will move up to 7th in the Premier League table. But of course, Brighton and Nottingham Forest still to play tomorrow. Palace fans whistling, jeering and booing because Matthijs de Ligt was on the pitch trying to just get himself together after the challenge from Mateta. Palace fans' reaction has got him off the pitch. Manchester United are now going to have to take their free kick. We've barely played any football yet in this game so far. Onana now takes the free kick, lofted onto the chest of Xerxes, who chests it down to Ahmad. Ahmad tries to just nip in between 2 defenders. It's cleared away by Chris Richards, who's back into the Palace team tonight, and it's gone behind for a Manchester United corner. Team news for Manchester United from their last Premier League game. Alejandro Garnacho starts in place of Marcus Rashford, so that has raised a few eyebrows. Erik ten Hag saying before the game, purely rotation policy. All players needing minutes, needing rest. Garnacho has started the season well, that is true. 4 goals in all competitions so far, including 1 in the Community Shield. So he gets the start in this one, and Rashford is amongst the subs. Eriksen takes the corner deep to the far post. De Ligt nods it back across goal, and former Manchester United keeper Dean Henderson is able to catch that in both hands. Another wicket has gone down at Headingley. Eleanor Oldroyd.
Yeah, not long for England now. 176 for 8. Bryden Cast, the man, out for 26. Adam Zampa taking it, caught in the deep by Hardy. So England needing 95 from 97 balls, they've only got 2 wickets left.
Closing stages over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. After that tonight, we're at Wembley. Jonathan Overend at the team for the boxing coverage of the undercard first of all, and all the coverage switches to 5 Live here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight at 8:30, building up towards the big one. Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois. Tyrick Mitchell gets to a ball first inside his own half and plays it back to Dean Henderson. So I'll get you through the 2 teams in just a second. 3 minutes in, early impressions, Mark Warburton.
I think that first corner, Ali, you've got to take note of that. De Ligt was up against Muniz at the far post. The block was in place. It works well for United, but they'll have to be very careful, very cautious of that one. De Ligt's an obvious aerial threat.
2 goals from the corners last week in the first half against Southampton. Eventually Manchester United running out 3-0 winners. Free kick, Crystal Palace, taken quickly by Mitchell. It's beyond Mateta, and the run was covered by Lisandro Martinez. The Palace changes from their last Premier League outing. Both teams, of course, played in the League Cup in midweek and both won. Crystal Palace away at QPR, and Manchester United with a thumping 7-0 win over Barnsley. But Palace 2 changes from the game against Leicester here last Saturday, where they salvaged a late 2-2 draw with the Mateta penalty. Chris Richards has come into the back line for Nathaniel Klein, who's dropped to the bench, and Daichi Kamada into the midfield for the injured Czech Decore. Garnacho in for Rashford for Manchester United, who have the ball in the white shirts, which have a sort of red, white and black band across the chest, white shorts and white socks, and they are defending the goal in the first half away to our left at the White Horse Lane end of the ground, the Sainsbury's end of the ground, if you know it that way. Here's Martinez, plays to De Ligt. De Ligt draws in Mateta across to Martinez, and Ketia puts the pressure on this time for Crystal Palace. They're in the familiar kits, the vertical bright red and blue stripes, white numbers on their backs. Martinez on the ball again for Manchester United at walking pace. He plays from sunshine to shade. De Ligt to Mazraoui, who starts as the right back. Dalot over on the left-hand side. Ahmad has overrun it inside his own half. Eza gets onto it for Palace. Kamada's there. Clever pass finds Eza. He turns on the halfway line and sweeps a low pass out to his right-hand side, which gives Maxence Lacroix, the summer signing from Wolfsburg, used to play his football under Oliver Glasner there, a chance to bring it forward. In the end, Crystal Palace have come back to their goalkeeper Henderson, who swings a left boot at it, clears it away to the left-hand side over Mazraoui's head, and it goes out for a throw into Manchester United. Mark.
Interesting, Ali. Darlow's very happy in possession, coming into midfield alongside Mainoo, making that box there with Eriksson and Fernandes higher up the pitch. So I think the Palace midfield have got to be very cautious. But on the other hand, you've got Eze and Nketiah trying to find the small pockets and entice out the defenders. So it'll be won and lost in that midfield area.
Mazraoui thought he'd given the ball away there. Kamada couldn't quite control it. Bruno Fernandes gets it back for Manchester United. Here's Mainoo. Cross to Ahmad on the right. Manchester United inside their own half. Erik ten Hag, I sense, might be a little warm this evening in the black gilet, the long-sleeved black jumper underneath, barking instructions across the field as I speak. Crystal Palace have Dean Henderson in goal. Lacroix, Guéhi and Chris Richards, the three centre-backs. Daniel Munoz and Tyreek Mitchell, the wing-backs. Adam Wharton and Kamada in central midfield. Eza in behind Nketiah and Mateta. And Manchester United, their goalkeeper on the ball right now away to our left is Andre Onana. Mazraoui right back, Dalot left back, De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez, the two centre-backs. Mainoo and Christian Eriksen reprises his role in central midfield. So Manuel Ugarte starts on the bench again. Garnacho's trying to get away down the left. He's in for Rashford. Bruno Fernandes and Ahmed in support of Joshua Zirkzee. And I know you wondered, Mark, whether Zirkzee possibly might have got the rest today rather than Rashford. Rashford could have played through the middle even.
Yeah, that was my thought. I thought maybe Diallo and Garnacho on the wings and let Rashford go central there, Ali. But again, he's put in Zirkzee and showed faith and loyalty in him. So again, a big afternoon for him. But he's missed some recent chances. But right now, the wings will be very, very important for United. Both Diallo and Garnacho looking for those spaces behind the fullbacks. Here's
Mainoo, finds Ahmad, who's come a little more central for Manchester United in this attack. Played back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui scuttles forward 10 yards, uses Ahmad again. Low pass from here to Mainoo, outside of the right foot, curling ball, doesn't find Bruno Fernandes. Kamada gets away from Eriksson, who just trips him, clips his heels, and down he goes inside the Palace half, the Japanese international, for a free kick to Palace. It's Palace 0, Manchester United 0 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. So Palace free kick. Kamada thinks about leaving it for Chris Richards, then motions as if he's going to come back and take the free kick, and then decides to leave it in the end. Richards does take it, just slides a low pass to Guéhi. Guéhi in his blue boots comes back to his keeper Henderson. Henderson quickly releases it with his right foot downfield. Dalot intercepts inside his own half. On to Eriksson and wide to Garnacho, who has been in good form at the start of this season for Manchester United, has been absolutely itching to get on the field. A little bit like John Duran at Aston Villa, who I noticed came off the bench again today and scored again today.
What a nice option to have. Two strikers in form, Ali. Never a problem for a manager.
Aston Villa beating Wolves by 3 goals to 1. Following us this evening before the boxing, so in between this and the boxing, will be 6:06. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage waiting for your calls. 22 goals in 7 Premier League games so far today, and Liverpool top of the table after their 3-0 win over Bournemouth at Anfield. Guéhi with a long diagonal away to the right. That's well brought down. Look at the pass in field to Nketiah. Munoz couldn't quite get it through. Fernandes on the turn. It runs to Zirkzee. Zirkzee, clever ball through. Garnacho is through. One touch. Left-footed shot. Henderson with a great save. To his left-hand side. Stayed as big as he could for as long as he could, and manages to stretch out and palm it behind for a corner. Mark Warburton.
All credit the keeper there, Ali. What a good opportunity. Too easy for United to half-turn in midfield and play the ball through to him there. Good timing of run. He should really have scored, but tremendous save by the keeper.
So another Manchester United corner, and Mark has already spotted the danger from these. De Ligt scored from one of these last week against Southampton. He was the target for the first one, which went deep to the far post early on in the game. We've played almost 10 minutes here at Selhurst Park, and it's Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Eriksson holds his left arm in the air. rolls it back to Bruno Fernandes. One touch, and then the cross is blocked by Nketiah. I wonder whether he should have crossed that first time, Mark.
Yeah, I think De Ligt was at that far post waiting for that early delivery, wasn't he, Ali? And again, he's getting around the back. It's going to be a mismatch unless Palace are better organised.
Yeah, and that was the corner that actually led to the De Ligt goal last Saturday, because I saw it happen. Eriksen went short to Fernandes, whipped it in, and De Ligt got the header in at the far post.
And there's no doubt the space is there, so Palace must be wary.
De Ligt, this time inside his own half, plays across to Mazraoui, back to the goalkeeper Onana, who's all in lime green this evening, which he set off with a pair of fetching blue boots, white goalkeeping gloves outside his penalty area. Here's Mazraoui down the line to Fernandes, a little back heel. Kamada nips in to win it for Palace, might have been caught there. Referee continues play, and then Eza with a little nutmeg has his path blocked, so Crystal Palace do get their free kick.
Now both teams a little bit scrappy on the final pass, aren't they? Good, the attempt there for Garnacho we've spoken about already, but both teams a little bit loose in that final execution, Ali.
Free kick, Crystal Palace. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, our 2 o'clock commentary tomorrow, as Eza takes it quickly and sees Nketiah make a darting run down the inside left channel. And then we've got full commentary on Manchester City Arsenal tomorrow at the Etihad Stadium. The game kicks off at 4:30. Garnacho chasing a ball down to the halfway line. Wharton turns into trouble. Xerxes there, plays it forward to Garnacho, hits his heels, back to Xerxes, and Palace just about close it down for now. Eriksen tries to win it back for Manchester United. Palace just throwing bodies in the way. Now they've got more defending to do. Ahmad onto it on the right-hand side. Richards gets a foot in, runs away from Ahmad. Kamada clears down the left, and that goes out for a throw-in to Manchester United, who possibly could have got their man away.
Yeah, but again, Wharton caught in a bad area of the pitch there. Too easy to turn over and play forward from there, and they must take more care in possession here.
If you haven't heard the Premier League results today, lunchtime kickoff, Chelsea 3-0 winners at West Ham. Villa beat Wolves 3-1. They were 1-0 down with 20 minutes to play in that one. Fulham beat Newcastle by 3-1 as Ahmad chases a ball down to the byline. It crossed before he got the back heel in. I thought, no. Assistant referee has a much better view than me. He's back-heeled it into the shins of Tyreek Mitchell. Manchester United have won their 3rd corner. Leicester 1, Everton 1 in the big game down at the bottom. So Everton getting their first point of the season, as did Southampton with their 1-1 draw against Ipswich. Southampton denied by a late goal in that game. Tottenham have beaten Brentford by 3-1. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage wanting your reaction to those scorelines and stories on 6:06 after this tonight. Corner for Manchester United. Eriksen, floated ball again to the far post, attacked by De Ligt, saved by Henderson, and behind it goes for another Manchester United corner, and both times free header.
Again, Ali, same move, nothing different. You're getting a block, he's getting a free run De Ligt to the far post. Have to say, good delivery by Eriksen, but that's far too easy for United there in the Palace box.
Dean Henderson has been a very important contributor so far this evening for Crystal Palace. It's still Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Eriksen's now got the sun in his eyes as he's looking towards us in the main stand, jogs to the ball, whips one into the near post. Kamada stoops and heads it away. Bruno Fernandes, lovely cushioned volleyed pass back to Eriksen, who immediately gives it back to the Portuguese. Chip ball down the left for Garnacho, who sprints to it, back to Eriksen, another cross into the near post. Martinez is there, shoots on the turn, Henderson blocks again. Another corner for Manchester United, a 5th in the first 13 minutes of the game.
Some desperate defending here from Palace, as you say, early in the game, Ali, but again it's their pieces causing so many problems. Xerxes that time pulling out to the far post, almost unmarked. If he is marked, it's a mismatch, so they've got to take great care with this.
It's Mark Warburton with us here at Selhurst Park. Former Brentford, Nottingham Forest, QPR and Rangers manager, watching the action. Eriksen staring into the sunshine again, runs to the ball, this one a little deeper, headed off the goal line by Kamada, comes to Ahmad, edge of the penalty area, left-footed, works it onto the right foot. Martinez curling effort over the bar. Henderson had that covered, and it goes behind for the goal kick. But Manchester United are having so much joy from the corners.
They are. It's a good spell for them, undoubtedly, Ali. But again, a lot of it from Palace's own making. As we mentioned earlier, ball turning over too easy, poor in their final pass, and United are making it or capitalising upon that. So, got to get through this first period, Palace. 14
minutes played, 0-0. Referee this evening, you heard the whistle there. We've not given you the name of the man behind the whistle this evening. That is David Coote. Chris Kavanagh on video assistant referee duties, not too far away in Stockley Park. Eze flicks the ball over his shoulder looking for Kamada. Palace have lost it. Fernandes and Ahmed try a quick 1-2. Eze intercepts. Ball's pinging around between United and Palace players. Palace have it again. Here's Daniel Munoz, the flying right back for Crystal Palace. Comes back into his own half for now. Kamada to Gahey. Gahey with his palms pointing up to the sky, looking for players to run into space. One of those is Eza. Now Munoz looking to get onto that drilled ball from Kamada to the right, couldn't catch it, and it goes out for a throw to Manchester United.
You can see the Palace manager here, Ali, desperate to get the wing-backs involved. He's pointing out to both flanks, to Mitchell and to Muniz. Otherwise, all that plays in that congested midfield area, and key for Palace to try and get some width into the game.
So far for Crystal Palace, defeat at Brentford on the opening weekend, defeat here against West Ham, the draw 1-1 away to Chelsea, and the draw here last weekend against Leicester, the 2-2. Manchester United with the throw from the left back position towards Fernandes, controlled here by Dalot under a lot of pressure, curls a pass back into his penalty area. Onana leaps in the air and controls it with the instep of his right boot, plays it forward to Mazraoui, who's got Eza in front of him. Pass up towards Fernandes. Richards wanted to win that for Palace, did so initially. Manchester United bring it away with Mazraoui. Mazraoui wide on the right-hand side. Again, bodies bundling into each other. Mitchell's ball forward for Palace. Stooping header away by Martinez. Wharton with a good sliding challenge to beat Eriksson. But that only runs to Dalot for Manchester United. And now they just calm things down a little and knock it between the two centre-backs.
I think that's important, Ali. It was getting so congested in that midfield area, wasn't it? The ball was turning over by both teams too quickly. So important for some calmness to come back to the play.
Here's De Ligt, the Dutchman, across to Mazraoui, the Moroccan. Now Andre Onana, Manchester United's keeper, and Erik ten Hag again getting a little exercise to the point that he's just moved out of his technical area away to the left-hand side and wants to get more instructions onto the field. United in the meantime bring the ball forward. It's at the feet of Dalot, rolls a pass to Mainoo just inside the Crystal Palace half. Christian Eriksen starting again with Manuel Ugarte on the bench as he gets up to speed with things at his new club, the Uruguayan. Oliver Glasner leaps up in frustration as Palace don't make a challenge. Bruno Fernandes has it on the halfway line, uses Eriksen back to Martinez, and Martinez strokes it across to De Ligt. Fernandes was making a charge forward down the inside left channel. De Ligt doesn't go long, he goes sideways to Martinez, comes back to De Ligt, cross to Mazraoui, not being played at particular pace at the moment. Now Eriksen's going to go with the drill diagonal. It skids into the feet of Garnacho, who brings it under control, starts to drift infield, rolls a pass to Fernandes, looking for the run of Garnacho, too much on it, and Henderson slides forward and is onto it for Crystal Palace.
Interesting, Ali. Fernandes is going high, so that the front four of United are occupying the back five of Palace, and Dalot becomes a free man. So there's a freedom to come into midfield alongside Mainoo on that occasion to go out wide and run beyond. So he's the man at the moment causing Palace the problems.
Eza caught by Mazraoui inside his own half. That will be a free kick to Crystal Palace. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. You're listening to it on BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds app if you're listening to us on the move. Cricket is over on Radio 5 Sports Extra, also available on the BBC Sounds app. Not looking good for England again today in the second one-day international at Headingley, and on 5 Live tonight. The big one at Wembley Stadium, Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois. Our coverage and build-up on 5 Live will start from 8:30 after 6:06. Before that, you can listen to it on Sports Extra. Fernandes, pass forward with his left foot. Chasing back there is Lacroix. Gets a little shove from Garnacho, but had already knocked the ball out of play. The referee's not going to give a free kick for that. Manchester United have made ground down the left-hand side. Eriksen takes the throw. It's back to Dalot. Plays a 1-2 with Eriksen. Comes back into the Manchester United half.
Just think, Ali, you're looking at Ten Hag, we're very happy at the moment. Henderson goes long, it doesn't go to Mateta. United win that first contact, pick up the second ball, and they're playing forward again. So at the moment, they're having far too much comfortable possession and posing the obvious problems.
De Ligt's ball bouncing inside the Palace half. Mitchell deals with it, slaps it away with his left foot. Eza couldn't quite bring it under control. Mainoo to Xerxes, back to Eriksen. Ahmad's calling for it on the right-hand side. Eriksen goes via Mazraoui. Now it's at the feet of Ahmad. Mazraoui plays forward, and that's going to be a free kick for Manchester United. Free kick, beg your pardon. Try in the rugby. James Burridge.
18 minutes gone, Gloucester 0, Saracens 5, and left wing Rotimi Shagan has touchdown in the left-hand corner after a beautifully weighted kick by Elliot Daly. The conversion missed, but Saracens with the lead, 5 points to nil.
And a goal in the Scottish Premiership as well. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Rangers are 1-0 up against Dundee, and it's Cyril Dessers. He turned in a long shot from Tavernier from outside the box, diverted it just inside the penalty area, and it went past Trevor Carson. Goal. Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Thank you, Kenny. Palace 0, Manchester United 0 in the Premier League here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace have possession inside their own half. Chris Richards back to Dean Henderson. Henderson quickly closed down by Xerxes, works the ball onto his right foot, clears it down the right. Munoz leaps well to keep it in play. Martinez heads it forward towards Eriksson. Pass now finds Fernandez, looking for the run of Eriksson down the left, but the pass wasn't good enough to meet its target. Munoz is there. Back to Lacroix. Lacroix with a long ball over the top here. Mateta's interested in this, gets there first, touches it forward. De Ligt comes across to try and cover. Mateta just turns away from goal, wide on the right-hand side, turns again to face De Ligt. Deflected cross, only dribbles to Onana at the near post. Mark Warburton.
But I think that's going to be a big opportunity for them this afternoon, Ali, is those forward runs into those channels either side of it. That time De Ligt came across and covered his partner well, but I think he can stretch them there certainly and get the boys involved. And Eze and Nketiah running beyond will be an important part of the play, because at the moment there's no fluency to Palace's play.
Palace 0, Manchester United 0. De Ligt, walking pace inside his own half, across to Martinez. He also walks forward with the ball at his feet, plays across to De Ligt. Manchester United in no rush here. De Ligt turns, passes back to goalkeeper Onana. Ahmad now makes a run through the middle. Onana's seen that, can't find him with the pass, and Henderson had actually read that. He was right onto that as soon as Onana released it.
No, but it's good to see that movement by Diallo. He's always aware. His time was a little bit off there, but again, he's going to cause problems by stretching and making the type of runs that Palace seem to be looking to make themselves.
Bouncing ball, chested down by Tyrick Mitchell, wide on the left. Wharton's first time pass up towards Mateta, turned away from Martinez, but the ball ran away from him. Dalot with a bit of a no-look pass there into Bruno Fernandes. His first touch, can't keep it. Then he intercepts the ball forward from Mitchell. So Manchester United have it again. First couple of howls of frustration for the Palace fans at their team giving the ball away, and as Marcus has been saying, not quite able to string it together as yet.
No, the manager looks frustrated as well, Ali. You can see him waving, asking his players to calm down and take more care of the football. Just look after the ball is turning over far too quickly and giving Man United far too much possession, comfortable possession.
De Ligt, low pass to Ahmad. Mitchell comes forward, sticks a foot into a challenge. Manchester United keep it in towards Mainu. Mainu was tripped. The referee here is going to play the advantage. Manchester United work it from right to left to Garnacho. He's got Munoz backpedaling. Lacroix is there to help, gets that cross in. Mitchell heads away for Palace, chested down by Mainu. He's forced away from the Crystal Palace penalty area, and it runs to Mazraoui. Now Ahmad on the right hand side, drops the shoulder. Oh, that's clever from Ahmad. Eza puts a foot in, the ball spins up in the air and lands in the arms of the Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson. Midway through the first half, Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
But again, small details there, Ali. We see Mazraoui get the ball, could have easily gone back to De Ligt, but he chose a forward pass out to Diallo and he looked clever with his feet. We're seeing Palace go back far too easy, far too often. So I think just taking care of the ball and get some more fluency into their play will be important in the second half of the first period.
Dean Henderson all in green, plays forward to Daichi Kamada, back to Richards. Richards goes with the long lofted pass up towards Mateta, nods it behind him, and Nketiah was never going to catch that. And Dalot is able to go trotting back into the left back position for Manchester United to collect possession.
Sound a bit repetitive, Ali, but again, it turns over far too quickly. They go long with the ball. Martinez is strong up against Mateta there, runs through to United, and again they gain comfortable possession. They've got to look after this football.
Think about the football they were playing, the form they had at the end of last season, including that 4-0 win over Manchester United here in May. Henderson comes out of his penalty area, wins a header and nods it out for a Manchester United throw. That completed the double over Manchester United last season. It was 6 wins in the last 7 Premier League games, but they're readjusting to life without Michael Olise. Joachim Andersen as well, key member of that defence, has been taken out and moved on as Mazraoui plays back to De Ligt. But you're right, Oliver Glasner is He's hopping mad at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not happy. As I said, the wing-back's a big part of their play going forward and not being utilised. It's congested in the midfield area. The ball's turning over far too quickly and it's too comfortable for United. Diallo again, good time in the run. They're not quite bound, but as we're watching the game, they can't put 3, 4, 5 passes together.
Fernandes floated past with his right foot, chested down by his fellow Portuguese Dalot. Decides not to take that forward. Christian Eriksen on the ball just inside his own half. Crosses the halfway line. And Nketiah comes towards him. Eriksen plays back to Martinez, across to De Ligt, who goes further right to Mazraoui, who just swings his right boot at it and plays it back to his goalkeeper, Andre Onana. And Oliver Glasner, the Palace manager, is sort of marching out periodically to the edge of the pitch, spots something he doesn't like, comes back, has a right old whinge at members of his coaching staff, and then immediately gets back out there and tries to change things for his team. Still 0-0. Andre Onana with the ball at his feet, just inside the Manchester United penalty area, away to our left. Thought about going long, but goes short and left to Martinez. He plays across the face of the United box to De Ligt. De Ligt finds Mazraoui wide on the right. Zips a pass forward to Mainoo, who's looking for the run of Ahmad. Ahmad not quite on the same wavelength, and he goes straight out of play for a throw into Crystal Palace.
We've seen Man United dominating so many areas, Ali, but again, Fernandes just going high there. He's undecided. Do I go with him? Do I stay in? The front four of United are occupying the back five, and there's too much space in midfield for United, especially for Darlow, who becomes a spare man.
The analysis there from Mark Warburton here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Mitchell's throw into Eze, back to Mitchell, under pressure from Ahmad. Ahmad wins it, gets away from him, keeps the ball, it's bouncing awkwardly, can't quite bring it down here, holds off the challenge, that's blocked, goes out for another Manchester United throw. Another wicket's gone down at Headingley. Eleanor Oldroyd. 9
down now, so very soon this game will be all over, you'd have thought. 201 for 9. Adil Rashid, the man out, LBW to Glenn Maxwell for 27. England needing 70 from 61 balls. They've kept up with the rate all the way through, but they've just lost too many wickets on the way.
Am I right in saying, Ellie, it's best of 5?
Best of 5 this one, yes.
Hang on, Garnacho with the right-footed shot off the bar. Fernandes on the rebound off the bar. He volleys it down into the ground, it hits the bar and goes behind. Thank you, Ellie, for the quick answer. Best of 5, I was right. Australia are gonna, if they win that match, go 2-0 up. England will have to win the last 3. And Manchester United very nearly took the lead. It came out of nothing, really. Clever pass to get Garnacho in behind Mark. Sweet hit with the right foot. And then Bruno Fernandes racing onto it. Hits that rebound down into the ground and just spins up onto the crossbar.
Good football, though, Ali. Again, they switched it from their right side to the left. Superb pass. Great time in the run from Garnacho. Unlucky again to do that, and likewise a follow-up, but once again too easy for United to break through.
Here's Mainoo forward to Bruno Fernandes. Closing stages of that cricket over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes striking the crossbar here at Selhurst Park. Here's Martinez, finds Eriksen. Manchester United have the bit between their teeth. Crystal Palace have gone behind in all 4 of their Premier League games so far this season. Mazraoui takes a little risk on the halfway line. Eze nearly nicked it off him. Mazraoui still dribbling, finds Ahmad. Ahmad's chased by Mitchell into the Manchester United half and gets enough on that pass to get it back to Onana. Another try in the rugby. Gloucester against Saracens. James Burridge.
And it's gone to Saracens. They lead by 12 points to 0. An interception by Anwar van Zyl on halfway. All about the Saracens' line speed. They are pressing hard and fast on Gloucester, who have no answer to it. 12-0 Saracens. 26 minutes gone.
Garnacho coming forward again. First weekend of the Gallagher Premiership this season. Gloucester leading Saracens. Rangers 1 up on Dundee in the Scottish Premiership. Eriksen's curling cross into the Palace penalty area. Headed away only as far as Mainoo. Then Martinez is up there, gets a foot on it. The ball again is pinging around here. Ahmad challenged by Mitchell. Eriksen's first time ball swept out to the left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes lets that run beyond him. Back to Dalot, clever little run by Garnacho down the left. Lacroix sticks with him, holds him off, and manages just to shepherd the ball out for a goal kick to Crystal Palace.
We've been critical of Palace and the ball turnover too easily, Ali, but likewise you've got to give credit to United. Their movement in midfield has been very good. Fernandes again, they're dropping the pockets, and it's causing so much indecision for the Palace defenders. Do we go or do we stay? So they're playing very well in this first period.
Coming up to half an hour played then at Selhurst Park on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Oh, Crystal Palace so sloppy inside their own half. Give it away. Mainoo towards Xerxes. Tries to get it back to Fernandes. To Xerxes again. Fernandes to Ahmad. Brilliant quick passing from Manchester United. The last one from Ahmad didn't find Xerxes. Wharton goes down. He was tackled on the edge of the box. And Crystal Palace get the free kick. That was pacey and it was intricate. And had it ended in a shot on target, that would have been a fabulous move.
Yeah, it was really tidy, Ali. It was good football, good 1 or 2 touch football. But again, it's desperate defending by Palace here, edge of their own box. And Wharton quite fortunate to get away with the free kick as well, I think.
Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. All over at Headingley. Ellie.
Yes, Australia won this by 68 runs. Ollie Stone, the last man out, caught of the bowling of Mitchell Starc for 1. England were in this game for quite a long time, but runs that Australia scored at the end and wickets that their key bowlers took in the chase have been the difference, really. So England all out for 202. Australia win by 68 runs.
Highlights, BBC 2, 8:30 of that second one-day international. Crystal Palace fans getting really frustrated with their team. Chris Richards just hoisted a ball out of play from the left-back position. It's gone out for a Manchester United throw. And highlights of the third round of the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth, the golf, on BBC 2 at 7:30 tonight. Match of the day tonight, as always. BBC 1 at 10:30. Half an hour played. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Crystal Palace are having their struggles. Manchester United taking their time over the throw. Fernandes tries to hoist it forward. Richards heads it away. Eza leaps. It goes over his head and goes out for another throw-in to Manchester United. And that's slung back to Lisandro Martinez. Dalot receives it, halfway line, takes it round Nketiah, passes forward to Eriksson. Eriksson turns, comes back into his own half to Martinez, across to De Ligt. De Ligt, a couple of giant strides forward from the Dutchman, then passes to his right to Mazraoui. Chip ball down the right for Ahmad to chase. He'll get there. Lacroix comes across and makes the tackle. Mitchell tries to keep it in. It was Gahey with the challenge actually on Ahmad. Mitchell couldn't keep it in. That'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Impressed by Manchester United so far?
I have been. Individuals within their system as well. Diallo again has been very good, Ali. His movement there, a little short to go long and spanning behind, and he's causing problems for both Mitchell here on this Palace left-hand side. So very impressed by that.
Yeah, feels like we're always questioning them, Manchester United, but so far this first half hour, they've been the better team. They've struck the crossbar twice, looking dangerous from set pieces. I think United fans are being encouraged.
Yeah, they will be, but you can hear the frustration of Palace fans that you rightly highlighted. But again, they're going back far too easy. It's negative in his decision making. There's a lack of forward runs by the likes of Eze and Nketiah and Matata. They've got to be better at this.
Fernandes cross into the penalty area, poked away by Munoz. Ahmad wants that to go out for a corner, and the ball just has enough pace on it to do that before Mitchell gets there with a challenge for Crystal Palace. So 13 minutes remaining in the first half. Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
Watching De Ligt here, Ali, they've got to make sure it's been the same run every corner from this side so far. Looking down the back post and attack it, being marked by the likes of Munoz. There's just a mismatch in terms of height and physicality. Interesting to see what they do here.
Corner then for Manchester United. Ahmad towards the far post. Xerxes up, nods it down and wide of the target and behind for a goal kick. So they changed the man they were aiming at there, and Xerxes a threat in the air too.
No, big physicality, big presence. This time De Ligt went more central. Xerxes around the back. Got to credit again, good delivery by United. Change of taker this time, not Eriksson, but good delivery into a key area and almost punished.
Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Henderson with the goal kick for Palace. Short left to Richards, across to Kamada. Kamada under pressure, knocked it straight out of play for a throw. Crystal Palace cannot get out. They cannot keep the ball. They cannot establish any momentum in this game. Mazraoui's then tackled by Kamada. That goes out for a throw-in to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes wants to go quickly, picks the ball up off the cone, the replacement ball. He's ready to take the throw and then delays in the end.
But again, good work by Diallo there. Worked really hard to close down Kamada. He had no time to play forward. Ball turns over again and they're going to have to throw in a dangerous area. So they need some fluency, Palace. Take care of this football.
Xerxes couldn't control the throw. It was a hard one for him, high up near his shoulder. Palace have cleared into the Manchester United half. Garnacho's under pressure from Munoz here. Garnacho just holding off his man. Crystal Palace now pressing as the ball is back with Onana. Mateta comes chasing here. Onana side puts one to De Ligt. De Ligt's little touch finds Martinez. Manchester United have managed to get out, and Mazraoui chases hard to keep that ball in play on the right-hand side. Lofted, long, diagonal towards the edge of the area. He hasn't quite got the angle right, and that's straight into the arms of Dean Henderson.
Yeah, and again you see Ten Hag get frustrated on that occasion. Decision making by the fullback. Good opportunity. They play some tight football to get out their own area, but again it's turned over too easily.
Wharton's ball forward, intercepted by Martinez. Mateta's frustrated. Palace fans annoyed. Bruno Fernandes slides a pass into Ahmed. Back to Fernandes, right-footed shot is blocked by Guéhi. Half a chance again for Manchester United. Good block by the England international.
Keep saying, Ali, really desperate defending by Palace here in and around their box, and you're seeing the offensive players of Palace work so hard without the ball that when it does actually turn over, the too tired almost having a rest.
Feels like the goal is coming for Manchester United. I know in terms of the fantasy football, Chris Sutton played the wild card this weekend, brought Marcus Rashford in, who's on the bench or starting on the bench this evening. He's got Bruno Fernandes in the team as well. Here is Fernandes on the right, crosses half blocked. Mainoo lays it back to Ahmad. Ahmad's curling ball will find Garnacho, controls it on his right thigh. Big shouts of handball from the Crystal Palace fans. Advantage played, and Nketiah was getting away, shoved to the floor by Garnacho, and Garnacho is booked for the challenge. Mark Warburton.
They'll say it would be a clever foul, professional foul, whatever you want to call it, but he's killed the momentum from Palace. But again, Ali, we saw Xerxes this time drop into the pocket of space. Fernandes was high, he got in the half turn and played forward. So fair play to United, as you say. We've criticised many times this season, but they've been impressive in this first period.
I mentioned Chris Sutton. He and Robbie Savage taking the calls as always after the commentary finishes here at Selhurst Park. Number to dial to have your say on 606 08085 909 693. Plenty to talk about today. Robbie and Chris on for an hour or so, and then from 8:30 we're straight to Wembley. Jonathan Overend and the team ahead of the big one on full commentary on the fight. Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois. Wharton, low ball inside the Manchester United half across to Richards. Kamada towards Eza. Suddenly finds Mazraoui breathing down his neck. Moves away from him. Outside of the right foot pass from Eza. Blocked with a hand by Mazraoui. Free kick for Crystal Palace. Chance to get the ball in the box. Chance to show some attacking threat for the first time in about half an hour.
Absolutely right, Ali. For the first time we saw Gui spray it out to the right-hand side to Munoz there, and they had an attacking position, and they've won a free kick in a dangerous area. But they just need to show this more attacking intent.
So Eza stands over the free kick. Bright orange boots, number 10 on his back, in the inside left channel. It's checkered turf here at Crystal Palace, all different shades of green, and this is the darkest green. This ball is right in the middle of that green square of turf as Eza holds his left arm in the air. Palace players start to make their runs from the edge of the box. Delivery into the penalty area. I think that was Xerxes who got his head on it. That'll be a corner for Crystal Palace. I'm pretty sure that's their first corner of the first half.
Absolutely it is, but at least it's a bit of attacking intent to energise the crowd and give them something to cheer for, Ali. They've been very frustrated so far, but hopefully a good ending to the first half.
So corner for Crystal Palace. In terms of our commentary position, this is the hardest part of the ground to see, sort of peering through the rafters here to see Adam Wharton jog across to that corner flag to take this set piece for Palace. Last 10 minutes of the first half, 0-0. Corner taken short. Wharton's cross is then blocked. Ahmad is down. The ball hit him hard. Manchester United bringing it away. Garnacho's tackled on the halfway line by Kamada, and that means Ahmad can now receive some treatment. The referee was playing advantage and realised it wasn't a head injury and was right to do so. It's very far from a head injury. It's one of those very painful ones, Mark.
One of those that should wear off in a couple of minutes, hopefully, Ali.
So I think people know what we're talking about.
But again,
there.
Frustration for the Palace crowd because the ball wasn't put into the box. They played short, but a little bit loose in the cross. United step in, Diallo with the block, and they could have broke on the counter. So they must give something to this box and give Mateta something to aim for.
Premier League table as it stands tonight at the top. Liverpool with their win over Bournemouth on 12 points, as are Manchester City, who played one game fewer. Full commentary on that one tomorrow. The big one at the Etihad Stadium, Manchester City against Arsenal. So City on 12 as well, as are Aston Villa, who enjoyed their win against Wolves today. Chelsea and Arsenal both on 10 points. Along with Newcastle, who were beaten 3-1 at Fulham this afternoon. Southampton, Everton and Wolves make up the bottom three, all on 1 point. And Nana taking his time inside his own penalty area. Palace players closing in. Eriksson plays it out from the left-back position. Xerxes stabs it back to Mainu. Runs away from Kamada. Decides not to make the foul on the halfway line. Manchester United sweeping forward. Fernandes finds Ahmad on the right. Drops the shoulder. Cuts in field. Little back heel. Bruno Fernandes. One touch. Looks for the dink to the far post. Not enough on it. And it's straight at Dean Henderson. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Another try in the game between Gloucester and Saracens in the Gallagher Premiership. James Burridge.
It is all Saracens. Ali Tobias Elliott, the right wing, with a fantastic finish. Evaded 3 tackles. Brilliant pass from Elliot Daly to allow him to do it. They've missed the conversion, but they are on fire. Gloucester very torrid. They've barely fired a shot, and they are 17-0 down at home.
Thank you, James. 6 minutes remaining in the first half here at Selhurst Park. Dean Henderson slices a clearance out of play. Again, much to the annoyance of the Crystal Palace fan. Not masses he could do with that, really.
No, but again, it's good rotation by United. That the midfield, they're dropping into the pockets. We saw Richards unsure whether to go or stay. He stayed and allowed United to get in the half turn and play forward. So it's a very effective ploy at the moment, Ali.
Mazraoui closed down by Eza, turns, plays back into his own penalty area. Mateta running towards Onana, passes it round him to De Ligt. Forward to Dallows in a central position here, quickly whipped out to the left-hand side to Eriksson, and Manchester United again have space to play with. They've been the better team, they've created the chances, but they haven't been able to find a way through. Bruno Fernandes, ahead of this weekend, was the player in the Premier League who'd had more shots than anyone without actually scoring a goal. We've seen him have a couple more this evening as well. One rebound that he knocked into the turf on the volley that clipped the bar, and one effort blocked by Mark Gahey. He's wide on the left. Fernandes finds Mainu, edge of the box. He hits a shot. It hits his own man Eriksson and goes behind for the Crystal Palace goal kick.
But again, I think Ten Hag, if they get to half time with the scoreline the same, Ali, he'd be very frustrated, not capitalise on their possession and their forward play. As you say, by far the better team. It's been desperate defending for the bulk of this half by Palace. So a 0-0 scoreline would be very pleasing for Oliver Glasner.
More reaction to today's football on the way at half time. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Dean Henderson waiting to take the goal kick. Holmesdale Road end behind him. The ball disappears above the roof from our view, then reappears inside the Manchester United half. Dallows clearance, then a volley away by Martinez. Ahmad and Tyrick Mitchell wrestling with each other, battling for this ball. Bruno Fernandes is able to get there, flicks it to Ahmad. Ahmad chased by Mitchell again across the Palace half, gets his pass away to Eriksson. Space again for Manchester United. Fernandes ball, Xerxes touch, heading to the far post. Henderson hand, tips it behind for a corner. Manchester United so close again.
Tremendous hand by the keeper, all credit to him, but again that movement, that rotation, great play by Fernandes, lovely touch in a tight area. Diallo again being very effective, and another scored opportunity, Ali.
Another corner for Manchester United. Crystal Palace defence is creaking. Dean Henderson's made some good stops. There have been some important blocks as well. Can Manchester United find a way through with another set piece? Xerxes has been a target. De Ligt has been a target as well. De Ligt is almost standing on Dean Henderson's toes inside the 6-yard box for this one. Whistle blows. Eriksson's going to roll it short here to Ahmad this time. One touch, cross into the penalty area, headed up by Gahey to the edge of the box. Little cushion volley from Mainu. Xerxes drives it back across goal on the half volley. Couldn't really keep that down. It's gone behind for the goal kick to Palace.
What an excellent touch by Mainu there. Made it look so very easy, but a challenging piece of technique. But again, they're dominant. I don't see why they have to change their corners. They can't deal with De Ligt at the moment or Xerxes, so I'm not sure they really do need to change it, Ali.
Leicester-Everton was a big game in the Premier League today in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. That finished 1-1. Next up for Crystal Palace is Everton away. Palace on 2 points at the moment after 4 games. Everton on 1, sitting in that bottom 3 after that draw against Leicester today, and they played 5. Palace's next game after that here at Selhurst Park against Liverpool, and then it'll be the next international break next month in October. De Ligt heads it forward, flipped up in the air. Bruno Fernandes lets it bounce, so does Eriksson. Nketiah nips in, wins it for Palace. Wharton sweeps it out to Munoz. Oh, Munoz's pass back into the Palace half was a loose one. Xerxes nearly onto that, and Lacroix comes racing back to save Crystal Palace, and that's just symptomatic of the sloppiness we've seen this evening from the home team. Good flick on by Mateta this time from the long ball, and Nketiah chases. Dallo has it covered. Munoz is right in his face here. Dallo plays the pass up the line. Garnacho tries to turn away from Richards. Neither of them get the ball. Gahey is there. Gahey gets the warning there of man on, because Bruno Fernandes could see the pass back possibly onto Dean Henderson. He didn't go for that. Palace had gone forward, and Nketiah is dragged back by Mainoo. Referee plays the advantage, and Nketiah keeps going. Clever ball, finds Mitchell in the box. Cut back, Eza shot straight at Onana, and that was Crystal Palace's best chance.
First time they played forward, got some width, clever movement in behind the United full-back, and Eze in a great position, should really score with his ability. But that's the first real attack we've seen from them.
Yeah, first really good bit of football by Crystal Palace. Eddie Nketiah right at the heart of it, did well to hold off Mainoo, was actually fouled and kept going, and Eze might be slightly disappointed with the finish, just walked onto it with his right foot and hit it straight at Andre Onana. Right, boxing coverage from Wembley Stadium has started now on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Undercard is fantastic at Wembley this evening, so if you want that, it's already over on Sports Extra. In terms of our 5 live coverage, we'll be heading over there at 8:30 after 6:06 this evening, all building up towards Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois for the IBF World Heavyweight title. Here's Eze, surrounded by white Manchester United shirts. Pass forward, intercepted by De Ligt, looking for the pass to Xerxes down the line. He can't control it. Fourth official, Darren Bond, is coming out to the edge of the pitch to tell us how much added time we're going to have at the end of an absorbing first half. Here's Kamada, just inside the Manchester United half on the left. Back here to Lacroix, across to Gahey. Gahey goes running across his own half. Just 1 minute of added time as Mateta is found by Kamada in the middle of the Manchester United half. Laid off to Nketiah, driving forward at the Manchester United defenders, lines up the left-footed shot, slightly scuffs it, it's blocked, it spins into the Manchester United area. Mazraoui clears with his left foot, the ball stays in play. Richards nods it down the line to Munoz, who chips it up in the air. Richards again wins a header, comes back to Mark Gahey. 30 seconds left in the first half, and Palace right at the end of the half, just offering a bit of threat here as Mazraoui heads the crossfield ball away. Mitchell gets to it first, low pass to Eze. First touch almost got away from him, turns, maybe looking for a 1-2 here, and Nketiah suddenly heavily involved for Crystal Palace, receives it from Mitchell. Little twist down by the byline on the left, then the cross comes into the far post, headed straight up in the air. Eriksson jumps, Mateta jumps, and the ball falls on the edge of the box, and Bruno Fernandes plays it away. And then the referee, David Coote, brings an end to the first half proceedings. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Mark Warburton, what are you made of it?
And as I said, the last 2 minutes there, we saw Mark Guy play forward twice as opposed to go back as they had done for most of the half, and they had 2 attacking opportunities. They're getting forward finally in that last couple of minutes and showing the quality that we know they have when going forward. But for United, they've dominated for 43 minutes of that half and been very frustrated going in with no goals.
They've been denied by a former goalkeeper of theirs, Dean Henderson, who's made some good saves this evening. They hit the crossbar twice in the same move. The first, a right-footed curling shot from Garnacho. The rebound came back to Bruno Fernandes. He knocked it into the ground and up onto the bar. And Palace's one really good chance late in the first half. Eze hit straight at Onana. Half-time at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
Second half on the way. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, West Ham 0, Chelsea 3 at lunchtime. 2 goals for Nicholas Jackson. Aston Villa 3, Wolves 1 when we get to the 3 o'clocks. Fulham 3, Newcastle 1, Leicester 1, Everton 1. Liverpool have gone top of the table on goal difference after a 3-0 win over Bournemouth. Southampton 1, Ipswich 1. Ipswich's equaliser there coming in the 5th minute of second half stoppage time. And Tottenham, who conceded in the first minute against Brentford, came back to win 3-1. We'll have reaction from those games to come during half-time. In the Women's Super League today, Manchester United beat West Ham 3-0. Brighton beat Everton 4-0. Still playing at Ibrox. Rangers against Dundee. Scottish League Cup quarter-final. Kenny Crawford.
2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half as Cyril Dessers nearly makes it 2-0. That would have been his second of the game. It was a scissor kick just inside the 6-yard box, but it is Rangers 1, Dundee 0 thanks to the Nigerian striker's goal on 18 minutes. He diverted James Tavernier's cross-come shot into the net. Dundee haven't rolled over. They've had a couple of half chances themselves, but at the moment it's Rangers with 1 foot in the League Cup semi-finals. Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Thank you very much. Aberdeen leads Spartans 2-0 as well in the other Scottish League Cup game that's going on at the moment. Into the Rugby Union earlier, Exeter 14, Leicester 17 was how it finished on the opening weekend of the Premiership. James Burridge, the score with you?
Gloucester 7, Saracens 17, and Gloucester have just got on the scoreboard mark just before half-time. Freddie Thomas using all his heft to get over the line. The try converted by George Barton, but my goodness, Gloucester have been poor in that first 40 minutes. Saracens in their faces, their line speed, they have been pressing hard and showing indecision in the back line of Gloucester's. 3 tries for Saracens. Shagan Van Zyl interception from 50 metres out, and Tobias Elliott on his debut after a fantastic 20-metre pass from Elliot Daly. Half-time here, 17-7 to Saracens.
Arne Slot, Sean Dyche, Russell Martin, all on the way after Dan Morsley in the news.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Good evening. Lebanon's health ministry says 37 people, including women and children, are now known to have died in an Israeli airstrike on a block of flats in Beirut. The Israeli military says it carried out a precise strike on the building where senior members of Hezbollah were meeting yesterday, killing 2 commanders and 14 other members of the Iran-backed group. Israel and Hezbollah have continued to exchange fire across the border. The Israeli Air Force says it struck 180 targets in southern Lebanon so far today. In northern Israel, a barrage of Hezbollah rockets have caused fires in several areas. Lawyers representing women who say they were sexually assaulted by the former Harrods owner Mohammed Al Fayed say they've received more than 150 new inquiries since a BBC documentary revealed allegations against him. The current owners have urged women affected to get in touch. And Gavin Robinson has promised a new approach in his first speech as leader of the Democratic Unionist Party. The DUP lost 3 of its 8 Westminster seats at the general election, and Mr Robinson said the last 6 months had been difficult and challenging.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of sport. It's Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois for the IBF World Heavyweight title.
Anthony Joshua with a stunning statement here.
Let's go. What have we got to lose?
2 hard-hitting British heavyweights go head-to-head at Wembley Stadium.
Hear full ringside commentary
tonight from 10 p.m.
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports
with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yeah, they'll be in the ring sometimes around 10 o'clock. Our coverage will begin at 8:30. Jonathan Overend and the team with all the build-up at Wembley. And the undercard is actually on Sports Extra right now with the cricket finishing early. Australia beating England by 68 runs in the second one-day international at Headingley. Let's bring you some reaction to the day's Premier League football then. And remember, you can watch everything on Match of the Day 10:30 tonight. Luis Diaz scored twice and Darwin Núñez got the third to send Liverpool top of the Premier League on goal difference after a 3-0 win over Bournemouth. Here's Arne Slot.
First and foremost, it's all about the result, and that's something we got. But I felt that it was a tougher game than the 3-0 scoreline maybe have looked like, because Bournemouth just kept on going. And there might be a reason for this, because I know they were 2-0 down after 87 minutes, a few miles further north-south, I don't know. But they just kept on going, so it was a tough match till the end. But what pleased me most was the way we played with the ball. The amount of times we could free up a midfielder was really good today.
Whether it's Gakpo on Tuesday or Luis Diaz today, you're getting so much output down that left-hand side. That must be especially pleasing for you.
Yeah, definitely. But the output on the right side is also really pleasing, because I think Mo scored 3 goals and 3 assists already this season as well. He was a bit unlucky in San Siro where we twice hit the bar. But we have a lot of attacking threat. That's what we know. We know we have this quality. But on the other hand, what I like just as much is us keeping 5 clean sheets out of 6 games. So that is, both of them are important to go through a difficult season like the Premier League and the Champions League.
Everton got their first points of the season at the King Power. They were 1-0 up, Leicester equalising in the second half. Here's Sean Dyche.
Look, I always say this, and forgive me, but you take a lucky one, but you can't build on luck. You have to build on progress. You have to build on what you see. You have to build on training. You have to build on planning. We're going to get bodies back. That's a fact. They're going to be really important because we are stretched to the limit. I must say, Jimmy Garner, there's been illness in the camp. He's been ill, probably as bad as all of the lads who have been ill, and he's got out there today, played right back and just applied himself fantastically well. That's a great mentality. It shows that the people they're definitely on board. They're not questioning the fact we're down on players. Everyone's going, right, come on then, let's take it on. And that's a real good sign of the mentality, because people will get fit and strong, and then we'll look at a stronger group, and that mentality has to get us through this period until the players get back.
Another side leading today, but who only ended up with a point, was Southampton. Ipswich equalising in the 5th minute of second half stoppage time at St Mary's. Here's Russell Martin.
I'm disappointed. I'm angry that we conceded so late. I'm really pleased with a lot of the performance, but I'm frustrated we haven't scored another goal, and I'm frustrated that after a second half performance I was really pleased with on the whole, that we haven't managed to score or see the game out. So yeah, I'm disappointed.
A lot of talk about possession but not chances in previous matches. Today there were chances, and you have to take that as a big positive.
Yeah, and we had chances against United, so I think like that bit of the game is coming, but we probably didn't have enough of the ball today, enough control in the first half. They caused us a few problems from set plays because they had too many, because we couldn't quite gain control at times. But second half, I thought we did. I thought we were great. We created a lot. We should score a second goal, and then it's game over. And they have 2 shots on target in the 96th minute, and they score from one of them, and that's the frustration.
Do you have to put it down to these things can happen over the course of a season, and that luck will change?
Yeah, like it's not luck. We don't stick to the detail. The goal, the strike, maybe Sam's not hit one like that for, I don't know, maybe he does in training every day, but I'm not sure. But it's a great strike, but it deflects. But if we stick to the detail that we work on, it's not a goal. So that's the thing I'm really, really frustrated about.
Next, Marco Silva after Fulham's 3-1 win over Newcastle.
We are the most dominant team, and we created more chances than them. Of course, after the 2-0, we gave a little bit of control for them, but I don't remember many chances for them. That is the truth. Very good first half. We scored twice. We had more chances as well. Very, very good first half, the way you created always the spaces. Our left-hand side a little bit more creative, the way you created always with that triangle. A little bit more direct with Adam on the right-hand side. But we did create always. Of course, when you are winning 2-0 at half-time and you have a false start like we had, and 30 seconds of the second half we conceded a goal. Of course, came in our mind again the late goal that we conceded against West Ham. We had our moment to reorganize again, but after that I think even a little bit deeper than I would like. I think we did control well, and to be honest, the best chances for the 3-1, the best chance in the game was much more for the 3-1 for us than for them. They had one with Gordon, we had 2 with Alex, 1 with Rodrigo, we had many before the 3-1. Clear, in my opinion, deserved win for us. Very good win for us, and great reaction from the players.
Wolves are bottom of the Premier League this evening. They were 1-0 up at Aston Villa with 17 minutes to go, but they ended up losing 3-1. Gary O'Neill now with Pat Murphy.
You played so well in the first half, didn't you?
We did play well, yeah. Which is sort of said that a bit too much recently. So, and of course the tests are tough at the moment, and we spoke at half time. The second half was never going to look the same. You don't come to Aston Villa and win at a Cantor. It's never going to be like that. So, they make a lot of substitutions. They go a little bit more aggressive, and without ever cutting us open, we managed to find a way to concede another 2, and obviously the third is the third. We're open and pushing at that point, but still some jewels in there and we lost too many of those. So from being a team that plays well, we have to find, obviously we're down the bottom of the league now, and we need to find a way to be better when it isn't going our way, and in that, because there was some pressure and some noise, but nowhere near what it can be, and we should be able to get through that with grit and determination and togetherness to make sure that we survive better than we did.
Second half of Crystal Palace Manchester United on the way. It's goalless at Selhurst, and then from 8:30 all the build-up with Jonathan Overend and the team at Wembley ahead of Joshua Dubois, which we're expecting sometime around 10 o'clock, sandwiched in between 6:06.
Yeah, busy evening I'm expecting this evening. Mark, I want to hear from West Ham fans about the West Ham way. What is the West Ham way under Lopetegui? They've sort of changed David Moyes, and it's a similar brand of football, isn't it? People writing off Ange Postecoglou and Ange Ball, a large dollop of egg on their faces. Liverpool with a... Well, I think some of the criticism of him has been, frankly, ridiculous. I think if people have watched Tottenham play this season, they haven't been clinical enough. I think Ange Postecoglou said that, but I mean, blimey, you'd thought you'd think there'd be a crisis at Tottenham, the way some people have banged on about it. And Liverpool, comfortable victory for them. I think they're top of the league. I've not got a league table.
They are top of the league. They are top of the league on goal difference.
So plenty to be positive about.
Right, I'm going to go to the boxing next. Has anybody ever thought about doing celebrity boxing with you? Has anybody ever challenged you to that?
I think there's a lot of people throughout my career who have felt like hitting me. That's not quite the same thing.
All right. Just on the football field or in general?
Just most places I go.
How would you like people to get in touch with you on the basis that you haven't told them?
On the telephone, 08085 909 693.
You've done this before?
Yeah.
Let's go to Stacey Copeland, our ringside reporter at Wembley. Excited?
Oh, that doesn't even cover it, chappers. It really doesn't. Goodness me, the sense of anticipation in here already is tangible. It is going to be an incredible night, and already is. We've seen some amazing action on the undercard. We've got Kakachi and Warrington going at it right now in front of us. We're not even at the main event yet, and it's already electric.
I know. You would expect, wouldn't you, I suppose, Anthony Joshua, given his experience, and particularly experience at Wembley in front of big crowds before, to maybe have the edge in just dealing with the whole occasion.
Absolutely. I mean, even when you go back to his amateur career, he won the gold at the Olympics on home turf at London 2012. Massive pressure on him, so he's dealt with that even prior to his professional career. But yes, he's been used to not just the fight night, chappers, because that's one part of it, the entire fight week. It takes a lot of energy if you're not switched on to that, and again, it comes to experience of how to deal with that and not allow to leave too much at press conferences and public workouts and weigh-ins and all that adrenaline pumping through you. Anthony Joshua's got more experience. Dubois had experience boxing in front of 60,000, a hostile crowd in Poland when he fought Usyk, but Anthony Joshua has done this time and time again. So yes, you would expect him to have dealt with it much better, but also I just think the form he brings, the explosive, destructive Anthony Joshua that we've seen in his last two outings, you would expect him to do a pretty good job on Dubois tonight, I would expect.
Just before I go back to Selhurst Park, how much is the needle between the two genuine?
I don't think there is much genuine needle, to be honest. It's part of the business of boxing, and they know exactly what's on the line. Not just a world title this evening, but what could come next. We've seen Tyson Fury on the big screen tonight. He's got his big rematch with Usyk. Both Joshua and Dubois will be looking ahead for what this fight could set up for them. So there's a lot on the line.
Thank you, Stacey Copeland, our ringside reporter at Wembley. Jonathan Overend leading the team. Joshua Dubois, we're expecting around 10 o'clock. But all our coverage here on 5 Live, all the build-up, everything from Wembley with 96,000 there from around 8:30 at the conclusion of 6:06. If you want the undercard, which is sensational, then that is on Sports Extra right now. Crystal Palace are making a substitution. They might be making two substitutions, actually, looking down there at the dugout. They've had a difficult first 45 minutes, but it's goalless against Manchester United. Back to Mark Warburton and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, after that first half performance from Crystal Palace, which sort of sparked into life in the last 5 minutes or so, but Manchester United were well on top. Something had to change. Interesting changes here, though. Ismaila Sarr and Jefferson Lerma are coming on for Crystal Palace. Jean-Philippe Mateta and Adam Wharton are coming off. Ismaila Sarr, the former Watford man, signed from Marseille in the summer, number 7 on the back of his red and blue striped shirt, bounces on his right foot a couple of times, hops onto the field, and on he goes. And Jefferson Lerma comes into that midfield alongside Kamada. Not necessarily the players coming off, but I thought might be more.
No, I thought Kamada was the obvious one to keep Wharton alongside. I see the physicality and the energy of Lerma in midfield. Mateta, I presume, must have been injured, but he was fairly ineffective in that first period, to be honest.
Right, second half is back underway. 6:06 on the way after rush. You heard from Chris Sutton there at half-time. He and Robbie Savage will be taking the calls through until 8:30, and then we'll be live to Wembley for build-up to and commentary of Joshua against Dubois. Coverage of the boxing at Wembley. The undercard at the moment is over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. So double change for Crystal Palace. They've got Dean Henderson in goal. The back three remains the same: Chris Richards, Mark Gahey and Maxence Lacroix. But Jefferson Lerma comes into central midfield to partner Kamada. Daniel Munoz and Tyreek Mitchell continue as the wing backs, and then it's Eza and Ketia and Ismaila Sarr. Manchester United, same 11 that started the game. struck the crossbar twice in the first half. They're playing in pretty much all white, playing from right to left in this second half. Oh, that is a lovely pirouette from Eza, running away from Manchester United players, gets the back heel, back from Sarr. Eza, tight angle, little dink, goes for it at the near post, and it's not behind for the corner. Very heavy challenge on him at the end by Matthijs de Ligt, but the footwork from Eza was an absolute delight.
Outstanding technique on the halfway line. Pleasure to see 3-4 players around him, but took such great care of the football and then went for the return pass as well. So tremendous play by Eberechi.
Manchester United, Andre Onana in goal. Dalot, De Ligt, Martinez, Mazraoui the back four. Kobbie Mainoo, Christian Eriksen the midfield two. Ahmad, Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho. The three in behind Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, Marcus Rashford, Casemiro amongst those on the bench. Couple of minutes into the second half, Eze drills that corner into the near post. Ball's loose inside the United box. No one can quite get it away. Zirkzee's there, and then the referee spots a handball from a Palace player inside the box. Bruno Fernandes quickly drives it with his right foot. The referee says either the ball was rolling or we weren't ready to go, but that was a fabulous ball from the free kick down towards Garnacho.
No, it really was. And Ten Hag's frustrated here with the fourth official. I think the referee said the ball was moving, but there's a big opportunity, a nice break there by Garnacho.
Such a shame when you try and think quickly like that and take advantage of situations that it's called back, and you kill that sort of creativity.
Absolutely, very clever decision making there by Fernandes. But they've got possession. It's up to Palace now to solve this midfield problem they had in the first half. I'm sure Lerma will be come on for those legs to close down with more energy. But important they do solve this obvious issue.
First commentary today in the Premier League. We were at Anfield at 3 o'clock. Liverpool going top of the table with a 3-0 win over Bournemouth. This is Palace 0, Manchester United 0. And tomorrow on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday, Brighton, Nottingham Forest at 2, Manchester City, Arsenal at 4:30. Eriksen's ball through. Ahmad couldn't quite take it in his stride. Edge of the box, and Tyreek Mitchell stuck with him, as he has been doing all game, and clears it for Palace, who think they've won a throw on the left. They haven't. Bruno Fernandes scampers towards the ball, takes that throw in quickly, and gets it back here from Mainoo. Fernandes still going down the right-hand side. Sliding challenge in the end from Chris Richards. Knocks it out for another Manchester United throw.
Very clever forward run again by United. They're carrying on where they left off in the first half, Ali. But good possession here in the key area for Palace.
Yeah, taking the throw, and there's Mainoo trying to trick his way into the penalty area. Palace get bodies around. Kamada clears. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Curling ball far post. Just beyond Zirkzee. Behind it goes for the goal kick. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
But important here, you see Oliver Glasner talking to his coaches down there and waving his arms at the players. It's important they can't just carry on the same as the first half. Must look after this football, close down United, deny them options, but they can't allow it to be too comfortable yet again.
Producer George has got a question for you. I'm not taking credit for this one. Did you teach Eberechi Eza those dribbling skills at QPR?
Absolutely. I always demonstrate to him first, though, George.
4 minutes gone in the second half. It's Mark Warburton with us here at Selhurst Park. It's Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Saracens were giving Gloucester a good thrashing last we heard in the Gallagher Premiership. Another try there, James Burridge.
And they've got the bonus point now, Ali. The worst possible start for Gloucester. They dropped the restart, and then Saracens dominated, driving over from the line out. A wonderful try from Andy Onyema Christie. The conversion as well. 24-7 to Saracens, just 1 minute into the second half.
Thank you, James. Onana has to get that pass away quickly. Sarr was closing in for Crystal Palace. Played to Martinez in the left-back position. Forward to Eriksen. Dalot wanted to let that run across his body. Had to ride the tackle of Kamada. Manchester United crossed the halfway line with Fernandes. Low pass finds Ahmad. Ahmad with a bit of pace here. Running at Mitchell. Left-footed effort. Might have been deflected, sort of spooned up in the air, went across the face of goal. Yes, it's gone behind for a Manchester United
and another corner. But again, Ali, it's the same as the first half. You saw Fernandes drop deep into that midfield area. They had the overload. Palace didn't have the numbers. It was far too easy for United. And here we have another dangerous set piece.
Christian Eriksen is going to get ready to take it for Manchester United, who will go 7th this evening in the Premier League table if they can win this game. Not won on their last 4 visits to Selhurst Park. The last one back in May was a painful one, a joyful one for Crystal Palace, who won 4-0. But here's Eriksen with the corner, pinged into the edge of the box. Fernandes tries to hit the bouncing ball, slices across it, it goes up in the air. Fernandes there again, loses out in the 50-50 to Munoz, and suddenly Palace come breaking clear of the halfway line at pace, and the pass is overhit for Sarr. The idea was right, but it's just too far and into the arms of Onana.
No, but they got numbers forward very quick, didn't they, Palace? looked at blood on the counter-attack there, but again loose challenge by Fernandes in a key area, and the way Palace broke. But they need to take more care. Big chances don't come on very often for them in this game, so very important to be more precise with their forward pass.
Andre Onana with the ball at his feet for Manchester United on the edge of their penalty area. Good 5-6 yards outside the box, and Ismaila Sarr is just standing off him at the moment. Here's Eriksen. Eriksen's pass down the line to Garnacho, holds it up well. Dalot makes the run beyond it. Dalot's ball infield finds Xerxes. Xerxes lays it off to Garnacho, involved in the attack again. Beats Lacroix once, then twice, then the cross comes in. Richards heads it away. Eza, very calm, composed first touch under pressure, facing his own goal there, and Crystal Palace on the ball inside their own half. And Nketiah to the right, knocked forward by Lacroix. Munoz couldn't keep it. Mainoo on the turn for Manchester United, dances past Kamada, 25 yards out. Fernandes finds Xerxes, back to Fernandes, outside of the right foot, is wide of the target. Again, lovely improvisation from the Portuguese international, just couldn't guide the shot on target.
But tremendous play. Look at the pocket of space he drops into receive. There he is, unmarked. Richards is unsure, do I go or do I stay? Lovely 1-2 and great technique. Unlucky not to be 1-0 up there, but tremendous play by Fernandes.
Yeah, good football from Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes. Crystal Palace fans making some noise at the start of the second half. Erik ten Hag is out again, waving the arms around. Dean Henderson waits to take the goal kick for Crystal Palace. They're playing from left to right in this second half towards the noisy Holmesdale Road end. High ball cleared downfield. Munoz heads it forward. Martinez is there, smashes it away with his left foot. Guéhi wins the header. Mainoo is down inside the United half. But the ball is Manchester United's, and Eriksen gets it back from Dalot. Thinks about a quick release of the long diagonal from left to right. Decides against that. Finds Dalot. Dalot comes swerving infield. Laid back to Lisandro Martinez. Cross to De Ligt. Then Mazraoui. Ahmad's dropped deep. Mazraoui's just inside his own half. Ahmad is there on the right-hand side, but Tyreek Mitchell is right with him. So instead, Mazraoui comes back to De Ligt, and Manchester United work it into the middle of the field. Martinez gets it back from Dalot, forwards towards Mainoo. Slightly errant pass, intercepted by Crystal Palace. They can't do anything with it. Martinez gets it back from Manchester United.
No, but again, we're slipping into the same play as the first half here, Ali. United are getting too comfortable on the ball, too easy with possession. Palace are determined to go long from their goalkeeper, and they're having no joy. And Manchester United pick up the second ball and comfortably play forward again.
Eriksen looking for that longer pass down the inside left channel, cleared up towards Sarr, laid off to Eza. Eza is clipped there by Mazraoui. Free kick for Crystal Palace. Eza picks himself to his feet, looks around him, dummies to take the free kick initially in his white boots, and then plays it back to Chris Richards. So coming up to 9 minutes gone in the second half, still Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
I'm just surprised by this repetitive action of going long from the goalkeeper. The ball's turned over nearly 99% of the time, and the ball comes back to United, and they can play forward with comfort, really, Ali. So I think Palace have to look at the tactics and what they're going to do here.
There's Eriksen for Manchester United, back to De Ligt inside his own half. Slowed down by De Ligt across to Lisandro Martinez, brings Nketiah in towards him, then passes to his right to find De Ligt. Short pass to his right, and Mazraoui's ball down the line, intercepted by Richards, very nearly gave it away to Ahmad. It's played back to Henderson, one touch with his right foot, long clearance with the left. Mazraoui jumps, knocks the ball down. Kamada slightly miscontrols that. Eriksen quickly sweeps it forward to Fernandes, infield here to Ahmad. Palace defenders desperately trying to get back. Ahmad to Fernandes, he's then tackled. Eza on the ball deep inside his own half. His path is blocked by Mazraoui. The ball runs to Bruno Fernandes outside of the right foot. Pass is blocked by Lerma for Palace, and back it comes to Martinez again.
But again, it's too comfortable in possession, too much time on the ball, easy to make decisions here. United are playing very well, I have no doubt. Give credit where credit is due here. They're dominating the play, but Palace need to change something here.
Chris Richards won an important 50-50 there against Mazraoui inside his own half. Lerma's the half-time change. He massively overhits a right-footed pass to Kamada. I think Kamada might have thought that Munoz was bombing on down the right. He wasn't. It's just gone straight out of play for a Manchester United throw.
No, substitution will be a big part of this game now, Ali, going into the second period. I think, again, looking at United's bench and the options they have, I don't think it'll be too long before Ten Hag changes things. Not in a bad way, just to have something different from the bench.
We just had a close-up shot of a rather glum-looking Steve Parish, part of the Crystal Palace board. Not that impressed with what he's watching so far this afternoon, certainly judging by that expression. Lofted ball over the top. Oh, Garnacho, first touch just got away from him into the arms of Dean Henderson, but lovely pass over the top. Garnacho nearly onto it.
And that's exactly what we need to see from Crystal Palace, I think, Ali. The lack of forward runs is so clearly evident. Garnacho and Diallo obviously making runs from both flanks here, causing Palace problems. They're having no time on the ball, they're chasing and harrying, and Palace's creative players are really doing a defensive role.
Gahey was under pressure there, slices a pass away to Munoz, who does well to keep it in play. Back to Dean Henderson, the keeper. A long ball, thumped downfield. Meat and drink for De Ligt, heads it to his left. Alessandro Martinez clears with his left foot. The stats at half-time from our resident Statman Dave was 67% possession for Manchester United, 9 shots on goal, 5 big chances. Good skills from Mazraoui to get away from Eza. Did an Eza to Eza there. Ahmad chases the pass down the right. Richards there first for Palace, plays back to his goalkeeper, who need to find a footing in this game. Without a win in the Premier League so far this season, Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Gahey's ball to the left-hand side. Kamada half tackled. Mazraoui is there. Plays back to Onana. Onana drives it forward with his right foot. Richards heads it down for Palace from the halfway line. Eriksson is able to quickly ship it to his right and find Ahmad. Ahmad is taking on Richards, draws 2 Palace defenders towards him, then plays it back to Fernandes. Ball to Xerxes, laid off to Eriksson, and it just ran away from Eriksson at the crucial moment. Fernandes heads it back in towards the edge of the box, and Cowder takes a swing on the half volley and clears it. Fernandes header to his right, again finds Amad Diallo. 1-2 between those two. Richards' clearance hits Ahmad, the ball spins up in the air, Xerxes battling for it, it runs to Eriksson, laid off to Mainoo. Leaves it for Fernandes, back to Mainoo, couldn't get onto the return pass on the edge of the box, and now Ismaila Sarr is under pressure from De Ligt, and that is going to be a free kick. We'll check in on Rangers Dundee in the Scottish Premiership. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Ali, 54 minutes gone here. It's Rangers 2, Dundee now. A first goal of the season for captain James Tavernier, and it came from the spot. Foul given away by Dundee defender Mo Silla from a corner kick, and James Tavernier, no mistake when he stepped up, powered it into the left. Rangers 2, Dundee 0.
So Rangers leading by 2-0. One of the clubs that Mark used to manage. Mark was just telling me about a little golfing challenge you had to attempt at Ibrox one day in front of 10,000 Rangers fans, which sounded very difficult to me.
That's a long distant memory now, thankfully, Ali.
Under pressure with a wedge in front of baying supporters, very tricky. Marcus Rashford, I think he's getting ready to come on.
Yeah, I think
soon.
he's going to change it, not just to keep it fresh, to give some different options, some more forward runs to stretch the Palace defence, some nice intricate play from the likes of Fernandes and Mainoo around the edge of the box. Just need the quality on the final pass, but there's no doubt they dominate this game of football.
Still Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0, and that is what will worry Manchester United fans. Dominating the game of football, not being able to find a way through, haven't been able to put Palace away. Jefferson Lerma in the centre circle inside his own half to Gahey forward to Eza. Mainoo quickly across to try and cover the danger, crossing from the left, finds Sarr, he goes tumbling in the box, surely not going to get a penalty for that. I'm not sure he wants one necessarily, and De Ligt comes across to haul him to his feet.
No, clutching at straws, a Palace faithful there for sure. There's nothing in that challenge at all, Ali, but they've got, as I say, it's a dominant performance. You'd be worried now looking, if you're a Palace fan, the likes of Rashford coming on, Mount on the bench, Højlund, these types of names have got real quality there to choose from. I'm sure the subs will change this game.
Yeah, really good to see Rasmus Højlund and Mason Mount back involved for Manchester United. Højlund yet to feature so far this season. Mason Mount started the first 2 Premier League games and came off at half-time against Brighton. His Manchester United career just hasn't got started yet, really.
I've got to say, Ali, I was fortunate to be at the Brighton game. He was superb in that first 45. I was saying to John how good it was to see him back near his best. He dominated play, was clever, good energy, good forward technique. Really pleasing to see. So a great shame he got injured in that game.
Great build-up from Manchester United. Fernandes to Mainoo, tries to slide it through to Garnacho. The clearance only as far as Xerxes. Mainoo's involved again. Plays it to his right to Fernandes. Lays it off here to Eriksson. Central position, 25 yards out. Thought about the shot. Fernandes is there looking for a pass to the right. Here's little Ahmad. Cross comes into the penalty area. Half cleared by Lacroix. Garnacho battling for it inside the box. Couldn't bring it down. And Crystal Palace have a chance to clear down the right with Nketiah, who just didn't let the ball run too far. And it went out for a throw, I think, possibly all the way down on the left wing for Manchester United.
And you can hear the crowd getting restless again, giving some boos to Nketiah for clearing the ball aimlessly. But you look at him now, his body language, he's exhausted. He's running around defensively. Their creative players are working so hard because they haven't got much possession of the football. Xerxes off, Rashford coming on here makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford is on. 3 goals in his last couple of games. 2 in the 7-0 win against Barnsley in midweek in the League Cup. Right-footed curling shot that I saw at the St Mary's Stadium last Saturday, and he's going to come on and start in a central striking position for Manchester United. Highlights of the Premier League football, as always, Match of the Day, BBC One at 10:30, available on the iPlayer after that at any time for you. Champions League highlights there from this week as well on the iPlayer as well, which is a new thing for the BBC this season and for the next couple of seasons as well. Manchester United playing European football next week, actually, in the Europa League at home against FC Twente, the Dutch team, on Wednesday night. So Rashford is on. The ball is dropping just outside the Palace area. Eriksen is there, side foots it to his right to Fernandes. Back to Eriksen, uses Fernandes again, wide on the right-hand side. Low pass to Ahmad. Ahmad dribbles towards Fernandes. Fernandes this time passes back to De Ligt. We're into the last half hour of the game and still no goals. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Dalot towards Mainu. Mainu onto Eriksen. Gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes finds Rashford. Rashford, clever pass to Mainu. Little trick. Back to Fernandes. Ball's just behind him. Back heel from Fernandes. Nearly found Garnacho. And again, desperate defending from Palace. Gets it away just in time, but only for now because Dalot's there on the left and he's won it. Finds Garnacho. Curling shot palmed away by Henderson at full stretch. He stretched that right arm across his body as he dived left, and it's behind for the corner.
Tremendous play by United. Incisive, clever movement of the ball. Good runners into space there, and again Dalot wins it. Great attempt there by Garnacho. Good save again by Henderson.
Pressure.
But United dominant.
Yeah, pressure building from Manchester United. They get the ball again from the short corner. Fernandes tried to play in Ahmad. Palace have lost it. Ahmad gets it inside the penalty area onto the left foot. Shot is blocked. Ahmad still battling. Edge of the box. Jumping in is Lisandro Martinez with 2 feet. And the free kick is given to Crystal Palace on the edge of the box. Now, no player is hurt, but you can see the Palace players are surrounding the referee. They're very unhappy that Lisandro Martinez jumped in clearly with 2 feet. Dean Henderson is actually mimicking the challenge. Henderson's been booked, I think, for his reaction to the tackle.
I've got to say, it looked a red card here, as you see, and that's a red card.
Wow.
All day long, that's a red card. How he's on the pitch, I've no idea. And in a game where they've been under pressure for the large portions of the game, it's a huge decision by the referee.
If you catch someone jumping like that, it's Kamada who comes in for the ball, then you are seriously going to hurt someone. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Kavanagh is saying to the referee, David Coote, hold on a second here, we're going to have a look at that, because at the moment the only yellow card I have seen was for Dean Henderson. No, Lisandro Martinez, according to the Premier League app, has been booked as well. But I mean, is he really going to get away with that?
VAR is there for a reason, and if they don't use it in this situation here, I'm completely confused. You watch this. That's a shocking. Well, it's 2-footed, surely.
Yeah, he jumps at the ball with 2 feet. Kamada moves out of the way. There's no contact between Martinez and Kamada, but that's not the point. It's what.
No, it's intent. I think I'm saying intent. That's probably the wrong word, but you get my grip there. He's got in there with 2 feet and a lunge. It should be a red card in my opinion.
Can't tackle like that. Eriksen's ball forward, looking for Garnacho. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Talking point for 6:06 tonight, certainly that challenge by Lisandro Martinez. Here's Nketiah for Crystal Palace, left-footed drive. Onana save. Sarr on the rebound has somehow missed from 5 yards out.
I think it was a save actually, Ali.
Oh wow. The Manchester United defenders on their feet congratulating Onana. He saved the first shot from Nketiah. We'll have a look at the replay now, and then somehow gets up and makes the block at full stretch with his right hand. We saw David Raya do it for Arsenal on Thursday. It's the week of the double save.
Oh, tremendous. Look at that, the pace to get up, his reaction to the second movement. Magnificent goalkeeping, and they're the moments. They're the key moments in games.
Brilliant from Andre Onana. Corner for Palace, and away swinger from Eza. Powerful header across goal and behind for the goal kick. And suddenly the stadium has woken up. The game has livened up. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Let's get the latest on Gloucester Saracens in the rugby. James Burridge.
And Gloucester have just scored their second try, and boy did they need it. They were 27 points to 7 down on the scoreboard, conceding very early on in the second half. Saracens already have the bonus point in the bag, but Freddie Clark has just scored in the far left-hand corner and given his side hope. 27 points to 12 with the conversion to come.
Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Eddie Nketiah is coming off to a standing ovation from the Crystal Palace fans. They like their new man. Will Hughes comes on to replace him.
Yeah, I think there's another body in midfield to try and take better control of the football, try and reduce the dominance of Man United. But again, going back to that moment there, what a fantastic opportunity there for. You see them break. First time really had a clean shot and goal, and he takes a quality of Onana there to keep them in the game.
Yeah, second save in particular, and we were talking about it in the week with the Raya save. That thing they train again and again. You see them doing it in training, don't you? Make the first save, get up to your feet, and make the second save. And he just at full stretch got enough on it to prevent Sarr knocking in the rebound.
But it's amazing, Ali, that you see that decision by the referee on the two-footed challenge galvanises the faithful, the fans here, and angers the players, and that's a reaction.
6:06 follows us then. Then we're to Wembley. Coverage of the boxing is already on over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. You'll pick it up at 8:30 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and we're expecting Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois to be making their way towards the ring at about 10 o'clock this evening. Full commentary on the fight on the way. 2 more Premier League commentaries tomorrow. Brighton Nottingham Forest at 2, and then the big one, Manchester City Arsenal at 4:30 with John Murray and Leon Osman, our commentary team at the Etihad Stadium. Fernandes trying to get involved in a 1-2 again, was caught there by Chris Richards. Free kick, Manchester United inside right channel, 5 yards away from the Crystal Palace penalty area. It feels like a goal is coming at one end. I don't know which end.
I would agree, but again, tidy play. Mainu, Fernandes, Eriksen, very clever one-touch passing on the edge of the Palace defensive third, and now a free kick in a very dangerous area. And you've got to look at the likes of De Ligt here to come around and maximise this.
So Christian Eriksen, so often the man on the set pieces for Manchester United. He could deliver with the right foot. Amad Diallo is there, who's been impressive again, starting wide on the right for Manchester United today. They've just had a quick conversation between the two, and now they're waiting for the referee's whistle. It's blown by David Coote. Eriksen's free kick, in it comes, great delivery, far post, ball bouncing around. De Ligt trying to get a stab on the ball. Now Manchester United have arms up. They are appealing for a handball at the moment. The referee has given a corner. De Ligt seems absolutely certain, Mark, there's a handball in there.
Yeah, there was an immediate claim, wasn't there, as well? I didn't have a clear view, Ali, first. Let's have a look here now. Still can't really see it.
Lerma at the far post with an arm out. De Ligt is straight away and turning and saying penalty, penalty, penalty. Another angle on the replay. Oh, there's an arm up there. Is it Lacroix who's got his sort of arms in front of his body possibly, and it
was it Lacroix or Lerma? I thought you had it right first time, Ali, but I'm not too sure.
No, they're happy. They're happy at Stockley Park, no penalty. Corner for Manchester United. Looked like the ball did touch a hand, but they deem that's not a penalty. Eriksen's corner in, headed away by Chris Richards. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Bruno Fernandes, little chip ball into the penalty area. Amad will chase it. It just bounces beyond him and goes behind for the goal kick.
But important now, as you look at the clock here into the last 20-25 minutes, it's important that United carry on dominating the football, being positive, probing. There's plenty of time yet to get the goal they need, or deserve really. But Palace likewise be a little bit more positive in the decision-making, Ali.
In terms of our football commentaries coming your way next week, Wimbledon Newcastle in the League Cup on Tuesday night, Liverpool West Ham on Wednesday night. Manchester United will feature again next weekend, Sunday 4:30, so a week tomorrow is Manchester United against Tottenham. Monday Night Club as well on Monday night, Mark Chapman and the team, followed by 5 Live boxing at 9 o'clock, which will be the Joshua Dubois debrief. Kamada chasing a ball down the right. Dallow's got the speed to beat him to it. Plays back to Onana. Good clearance with his left foot. Headed forward by Lacroix. Flicked on by Sarr. De Ligt is there. Throws himself at the header. Nods it to his left. Dallow lobs it forward again. Slightly miscued by Lacroix. Mainu, little backheel volley from Rashford. Then volley pass forward by Fernandes. Henderson out to the edge of his box for Palace. It wouldn't quite come down for him. He spooned it straight up in the air. Munoz nods it forward. Kamada's shoved over by Martinez. Crystal Palace get a free kick.
Martinez always runs close to the wind, doesn't he? Challenges and pushes and shoves. Very clever. I don't want to be stereotypical in terms of it, but again, very clever. He's defending, very professional. But he does run very close to the referees.
Very professional, apart from the two-footed jump in on Kamada, which he only saw a yellow card for. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. 6:06 on the way. Lines open. Number to dial 08085 909 693. I heard Chris talking about Getting the West Ham fans on the line this evening, beaten 3-0 by Chelsea in the lunchtime kick-off. We've got 20 minutes to play here. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Palace throw is on the way. Back to Rangers Dundee, Kenny Crawford.
66 minutes gone, Ali. I think this one is over now. Rangers 3, Dundee 0. It's another goal for Cyril Dessers. The ball came in from the left-hand side from Bayrami, the Albanian international, and Dessers on the 6-yard box just had to side-foot it in. I was just thinking about the Tavernier goal, the second goal. I think your co-commentator might have been the man that signed him back in 2015.
Just a little nod from Mark Warburton to my right-hand side. Crystal Palace had a promising attack developing on the left there. Manchester United have not only blocked it, they've won the throw-in on the right-hand side. Back to James Burridge at the rugby, Gloucester Saracens.
And a 5th try for Saracens, 32 points to 12, still 20 minutes to go in the contest, and the 2nd try for Andy Onyana Christie. They really caught Gloucester asleep at the line out, 5 metres out, easy running for Christie. Gloucester so disappointing, 32-12 Saracens.
Bruno Fernandes launches one forward with his right foot. Fabulous control from Munoz. Palace onto it inside their own half. Lerma on as the half-time sub. Opens his body, side puts it to Kamada. Through ball here to Eza on the edge of the penalty area. Good pass to Sarr. Sarr back onto his left foot. Eza's shot. Oh, he's gone wide. He went for the near post to try and fool Onana. He met it crisply and perfectly. He just couldn't get it on target.
That's magnificent play again by Eze. Clever technique and awareness. Good forward runners. That's what Palace need to do. Commit numbers forward. Great technique. Picks his spot and puts it a foot wide.
Well, Crystal Palace fans love that. Just wonder whether he could have gone cross Onana to the right-hand side. Onana, of course, recently with the brilliant double save for Manchester United. Maybe we're destined not to get a goal in this one this evening. It is still Palace 0, Manchester United 0.
But the faithful will be energised by that, and you can hear the reaction from the crowd. They're liking what they see in terms of going forward. I think Palace need to be a little bit braver here. Just commit the numbers forward at the right times and maybe to get the late reward.
Dalot. Floated pass onto the chest of Mazraoui. Mazraoui to his right to Ahmad. Another change coming here for Manchester United. Ugarte is going to come on. They continue to attack down the right-hand side. That's Ahmad on the dribble. Ends up on the floor inside the Palace penalty area. Tackled and wins the corner. Tricky customer to deal with.
But these will be important minutes for Ugarte as he gets his fitness back. He'll be a key player going forward for the bulk of the season, Ali, but very important to get some minutes under his belt. 17
minutes plus added time remaining. Still Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Eriksson waiting to take the corner. Erik ten Hag waiting to make the substitution. Not going to do it just yet. Eriksson has his left arm in the air. Photographers behind him on the touchline on the far side of the field to us, and then it's a high delivery towards the far post. Henderson at full stretch is able to leap and claim it, and suddenly, as you hear, the Palace fans burst into applause.
But again, small details, better defending there by Mitchell. You know, gets his arm around, blocks De Ligt. I'm not saying anything illegal, but he gets around it, makes it very hard for him to have a clean header.
Results in the WSL today, first weekend of the Women's Super League. Chelsea beat Aston Villa last night by 1-0. Manchester United's women beat West Ham 3-0, Brighton 4, Everton 0. Tomorrow, Arsenal against Manchester City kicks off at 12:30. Rasmus Højlund, 21-year-old Danish striker for Manchester United, is going to make a first appearance of the season. So Ugarte and Højlund will come on. Eza's on the ball for Palace, plays back to Hughes. Diagonal lofted pass out to the left-hand side, then switch forward to Sarr. Sarr back to Eza. Eza running into space in the inside left channel. Here's Tyrick Mitchell. Mitchell's low cross. Oh, missed by De Ligt, went through his legs, caught his back leg, ends up in the arms of his keeper.
No, absolutely. But Palace get a bit more confidence here, and the crowd can sense it, Ali. Eza is getting more of the ball, being more dangerous. They're committing numbers forward. Hopefully a strong end to the game here by Palace.
Right, I've got the wording from the Premier League Match Centre on the decision taken by Chris Kavanagh and the video assistant referee team at Stockley Park on the Lisandro Martinez two-footed jump into the tackle. The tackle was reviewed by VAR, but it was deemed reckless, not dangerous, and a yellow because no contact with the player. Reckless, not dangerous. But surely You want to stamp that sort of, you want to say to the players, you cannot make that sort of tackle, because if you do make contact with the player, you're breaking someone's leg.
That's a broken ankle, broken leg. Absolutely right, Ali. I am amazed. I'm saying appalled. It's probably too strong a word, but it's a shocking decision in my mind there. You saw the type of challenge. That's the tackle we do not want in our game of football, and they should be punished accordingly.
Christian Eriksen's coming off. Manuel Ugarte is coming on. That is one for Chris and Robbie. Lines are open on 606. They're taking the calls through until 8:30 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight, and then we're off to Wembley. Coverage of the box in the undercard has already started on Radio 5 Sports Extra. So Ugarte on for Eriksen, and Højlund comes on for Ahmad. So that'll mean Garnacho wide right, Rashford on the left, and Højlund through the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. Obvious changes to make there, but it's fresh legs, fresh blood, and hopefully, as I say, Eric Ten Hag's looking for inspiration this last 10-15 minutes.
All the reaction to today's football in the Football Daily podcast, available via the BBC Sounds app. Colin Murray will start your build-up to tomorrow's full day of sport, 10 till 12 on Sunday. If you've not listened to that show recently, the British Football Songbook is a brilliant feature which Pat Nevin sits alongside. They're doing Goodnight Irene tomorrow, the famous Bristol Rovers song, and they dig into it for half an hour, where it comes from, why it's sung by the fans. I mean, you think about Glad All Over here at Crystal Palace. I think Ian Holloway is a guest. Talk about that tomorrow. So that will be good. That will be good. 10 till 12, and then Steve Crossman will take over with 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Ball forward from Fernandes. Højlund to chase. Guéhi is there, lobs it into the stands, and that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. So last 15 minutes of the game, still 0-0. Højlund to Garnacho. Garnacho trying to get away down the right. Good pace takes him past Richards. Richards hangs with his man, gets a foot in, makes the tackle. Mainoo slides in to block the clearance. That'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Actually, last touch off a Palace player. Bruno Fernandes trying to run into space, make himself available for the throw. He does that. Side foots the volley pass back to Mainoo. Lovely manipulation of the ball with his right foot to try and beat a man there, but Palace have it. Here's Lerma. Lerma turns on the edge of his own box. Back to Richards, plays up the left-hand side. Beautiful first touch from Sarr. Volley pass to Eza. Looks for Kamada, trying to get it back to Eza, and the ball goes out for a throw into Crystal Palace just inside the Manchester United half on the left.
Now, you mentioned technique there, Ali. I think we've got Ashley Cole on the stand watching the game today, in terms of representing England, but we take for granted some of the technique being seen by Ebbs and obviously here by Mainoo. Great feet, great technique, and good to see.
Yeah, Ashley Cole, Lee Carsley and the like will be purring at some of that sort of stuff they've got available to them. Here's Marcus Rashford with his right foot looking for the run of Højlund. That run is covered by Guéhi and Dean Henderson. They let the ball run behind for the goal kick to Crystal Palace.
But again, it poses questions to the Palace defence. Those runs in behind are so important. They've been tight and intricate in the tight areas, but again, they stretch defenders with those forward runs.
It's Mark Warburton with us here at Selhurst Park. Chris and Robbie waiting to take the calls on 606 08085 909 693 is the number to dial. Boxing, Joshua Dubois from 8:30 build up, and then full commentary on the fight tonight here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Rashford jumps, wins the header on the halfway line, and it goes out for a throw in to Crystal Palace. Didn't really have this down as a 0-0.
No, if it does end 0-0, I've got to say it's been a very entertaining 0-0, Ali, for sure. Yeah. But you still sense there's a goal coming.
Yes. Yeah, Manchester United striking the crossbar twice in quick succession in the first half. Brilliant Onana double save. Slip from Dalot. Munoz is in for Palace down the right-hand side. Can he find a decent cross? Swirling to the far post. Will Hughes will collect it. One touch. Drives it back across goal to the near post. Onana is able to grab it.
But again, first time Dalot's been very good this afternoon. Consistently slipped there. They're in behind the fullback. But they're committing numbers forward now. Finally, Palace. If they show more belief in the first half, maybe they might got some reward. But these last few minutes, be interested to see what tactics they adopt.
Mazraoui for Manchester United. De Ligt plays across his own half to Martinez. Martinez walking the ball forward. Bruno Fernandes suddenly pops up wide on the left-hand side, breaks into a jog, then into a sort of three-quarter pace run down the left. Martinez not interested for now, thinks about it. He's wasted a good 20 seconds there, turns and plays it back to his goalkeeper. Onana.
It's a big 3 points here on
the
sub. You'd think United showed a little bit more urgency these last few minutes. They have been dominant, undoubtedly, but need to get their reward.
Trying to work the ball around. Fernandes long through the middle. Garnacho's never going to get onto that one. And Dean Henderson lets it bounce inside his penalty area and then just passes out to Mark Gahey. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Gahey slips, long ball over the top, and Sarr is able to get onto this, nod it forward. Dalot is back there defending, and then the offside flag goes up once Sarr got to the ball.
Very frustrating. You look at this United team again, Garnacho making that run. Again, the ball for Fernandes didn't quite make it to its target, but great energy from the young player, Ali. Really is. You look at him and Mainu, they've got a good young boys coming through here, so the future hopefully looks bright for United.
Are we going to get a late winner for either team? Crystal Palace looking for a first Premier League win of the season. Manchester United with a win here would go 7th in the table ahead of Brighton, Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Brighton currently in 7th on 8 points, Forest in 9th on 8 points. Lofted ball downfield, Lacroix heads it behind him. Munoz is able to keep it in play, chips it to his right. Lacroix can't do anything with that, and it's a throw in Manchester United, and we now move into the last 10 minutes of this game. Bruno Fernandes, low pass, finds Højlund, couldn't quite control it, doesn't run to Mainu. Ismaila Sarr, who's shown a very sure touch whenever the ball has come to him, wins a throw for Palace inside his own half on the right, and Oliver Glasner likes that work from his current centre forward.
Absolutely. I think Fernandes will be frustrated there. Good ball in a tight area into centre forward. Højlund needs him to take care of it, look after it with his first touch, but turned over too cheaply.
Throw in Crystal Palace. Munoz was about to take that. Kamada was running towards him, then he decided not to release the ball, creeping forward down that right-hand touchline. Throws now to Sarr, lays it off to Kamada on the right, back to Sarr. That's a heavy challenge from Ugarte, knocks Sarr over. That was unnecessary. Concedes the free kick, good 40 yards from goal wide on the right, but a chance for Palace to do something.
And it's positive for them. You know, they've been under the cosh for so much of this game, Ali. It's good to see, or Palace fans, be good to see a strong finish here. Again, any delivery from Eze will be dangerous. They need to get numbers into the box.
Palace fans in unison, trying to sing their team to a goal and a win here against Manchester United. Free kick for them will be taken by Eberechi Eze. Left arm in the air, close to us on the right-hand side. Delivery into the Manchester United box. Headed straight up in the air. Onana wants it, can't get through a crowd of bodies. Knocked to the edge of the penalty area. Ugarte runs into Will Hughes. Hughes gets a yellow card for blocking him, and Manchester United get a free kick.
Yeah, very professional foul there by Hughes. Sort of threatened behind on the counter and acted accordingly. Takes the yellow card.
Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. This is the first time since 2017-18 for Palace. They've not won any of their first 4 games of a Premier League season. If they don't win this, then it will obviously go to 5. Back in 17-18, that was the season they started under Frank de Boer. Lost their first 4 games under him. He departed. Roy Hodgson took over. They lost the next 3. They lost 7 in a row. And the last one actually was a 4-0 defeat at Old Trafford before they beat Chelsea 2-1. Got that first win, and Roy Hodgson obviously took them well clear of trouble as that season progressed. Still Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Lines open for 6:06. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage waiting to take the calls. First few Palace fans on their way out to try and beat the traffic here. They'll switch the radios on, listen to the rest of us, listen to 6:06, and then tune in for the boxing live from Wembley tonight. Joshua against Dubois. Onana's on the ball inside his own half. Passes across to Martinez. 7 minutes plus added time to go. Dalot runs to the halfway line, feeds it to Ugarte. He's got support from Mazraoui on the right. Mazraoui brings that infield. He's not going to get through there. Eze makes the tackle, keeps it away from Mazraoui, dances off to the touchline. He's tackled, and it goes out for a Manchester United throw.
Interesting to see how Ugarte adapts to the Premier League here. I think he'll be such a key player the rest of the season, Ali, in terms of the energy and the composure he can bring United in that midfield area. But these are, as I said earlier, very important minutes for him to adjust.
6 minutes plus added time remaining. Time is running out for these two teams to find a goal. Premier League scorelines you're reacting to with Chris and Robbie on 6:06 tonight. West Ham 0, Chelsea 3. Aston Villa 3, Wolves 1. Fulham 3, Newcastle 1. Leicester 1, Everton 1. Liverpool top of the table after their 3-0 win over Bournemouth. Southampton 1, Ipswich 1. Tottenham 3, Brentford 1. And this one at the moment, still Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Rashford trying to do something about that for Manchester United. Can't collect the ball just inside the Palace half. It comes back to Chris Richards. Richards lofts one high with his left foot. Headed away by Martinez. Mainu cleverly chests the ball to his right. Dalot heads it forward. Rashford battles here with Munoz. Munoz beats him to it. Plays a good pass into Sarr with his back to the Manchester United goal. Plays back to Kamada. Kamada in turn into his own half to Gahey. Couple of touches from him. Right-footed ball looks decent from Gahey. It is. It finds Sarr on the right. Munoz wants it. He's just behind him, just outside the Manchester United penalty area. Gives it back to Sarr. He and Munoz exchange another 1-2. Now Lacroix. Cross in with his right foot. Mazraoui heads it away. Nodded back towards Eza. Might run for Eza on the edge of the box. He slipped there. He's down, but that's no free kick.
Important to say subs are such an important part of the game now, Ali, but both Sarr and Lerma have come on and done well. They've got around the pitch with energy and tenacity to bite into challenge and win the ball, and they've made a real difference.
Mark Warburton with us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 5 minutes remaining at Selhurst Park. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Aimless punt forward from Dean Henderson. Ends up with his opposite number, Onana, at the other end. And what a double save from Onana in the second half. Well, the first save actually from Nketiah was a low-driven shot that sort of was at him. It was the recovery save after that, wasn't it?
No, he'd expect to save the first one, wouldn't he? Yeah. But tremendous reactions and speed of movement to get up there and block that second one. Goldband, every fan thought the ball was in the back of the net there, so that's what you get paid for, but they're the key moments in these games.
4 minutes plus added time remaining. Martinez down the left to Mainoo. Mainoo, right-footed pass across midfield to Dalot. Dalot to Ugarte. First time ball from him, but no real pace in the attack from Manchester United here. Game is drifting a little in the closing stages, but it's still there for the 3 points to be taken by either team. Dalot back to De Ligt. Looking for the longer one, the run of Rashford. Henderson's got it covered. It bounces just in front of him inside the penalty area. He was slightly surprised by Rashford's pace, how close he got to him so quickly, but had it covered.
Again, those forward runs, but I think referring back to look at the United fans on the far side there, Ali, that sense of frustration here. There's 2 massive points. Should the score stay the same, they've undoubtedly dropped 2 points this afternoon.
Ugarte, Will Hughes can't get it off him. Now Palace do. Hughes gets the ball at his feet. No one really ahead of him. Ugarte in with the challenge. Still breaks for Palace. Sarr is then tackled by Mazraoui, and the referee had played an initial advantage, so play will continue. Onana's little ball finds Martinez. Martinez plays it to his right to De Ligt. We're about to tick over into the 88th minute of the game.
Players starting to tired on both teams here. Fatigue levels kicking in, so maybe a mistake comes in these late stages, Ali, but important both teams keep pushing because, as I say, 3 huge points on offer.
Yeah, Mazraoui back to De Ligt. 5 Live's Premier League Sunday on air from 12 tomorrow. Brighton Nottingham Forest at 2, Manchester City Arsenal at 4:30. Both games in full. Hoyland's little ball into the near post, just cleared. No nonsense stuff there from Gay. Out it goes for a throw in to Manchester United wide on the left. Dalot takes it, throws to De Ligt. De Ligt on the halfway line across to Mazraoui. Fernandes is there to receive it. Back to Ugarte. Ugarte to Martinez, but Manchester United coming backwards rather than forwards. They're inside the Crystal Palace half. It comes across to Ugarte. Ugarte uses Fernandes again. Back to Mazraoui. 40 yards from goal on the right. Here's Fernandes. Early cross comes in. Gahey did well. That was awkward. Bounced in front of him. Chested it down. Runs away with it. Clears it with his left foot. Mazraoui stretches to keep it in play and does so for Manchester United.
Tremendous defending there. That was a difficult ball. His first touch was very assured and positive and cleared his lines and did his job. So well played, Mark Gahey. Yeah, always a chance, of course, this summer he could have ended up as a Newcastle player. He hasn't. Back in the heart of the Crystal Palace defence, and an important intervention there. Here's Rashford wide on the left. 89th minute of the game at Selhurst Park. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Martinez, low pass from him, finds De Ligt. De Ligt across to Mazraoui. Burst of pace from the Moroccan, takes him past. There's a great run from Mazraoui, slides it forward to Hoyland into Fernandes, couldn't quite control it, still inside the Palace area. It's hacked away by Munoz and will go out for a throw. And again, for all the good work that the attacking players do, as on that occasion, you can't be beaten in that 1v1 situation. Defence starts in the front there, and I think the manager was frustrated, should we say, at losing that challenge.
Taken over into the 90th minute of the game. Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Crossing towards Hoyland, flick onto the far post. Rashford's not there. He's chasing into the penalty area now. It's cleared. Martinez just stabs the ball to his left-hand side. Palace fans trying to sing their team to the final whistle. Here's Mainoo. Little jink from him on the left-hand side. Lays it off to Rashford. Scoop ball into the penalty area. Covered by Gahey. Gahey brings it out masterfully for Crystal Palace. Rashford blocks the clearance, spins behind Gahey, who holds off Rashford, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace.
Good reaction from the local crowd there, getting behind the team, as you rightly said, Ali. But I think, look at the manager as well. this is an important point they've won. They've worked hard for this point this afternoon. They've been under the cosh for large swathes of the game, but they hang on well, showed real resilience, and it's an important point.
Right, fourth official has got his hands full now. He needs 2 boards here. One for the substitution. Jeffrey Schlupp is coming on for Eberechi Eze. Premier League title winner Jeffrey Schlupp, don't forget, part of that Leicester City team that won the title back in 2015-16. Then he puts that board down, picks the other board up, and tells us 4 minutes of added time. And then this game will be over, and then Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage will be taking the calls on 6:06. Standing ovation for Eze.
Yeah, fully deserved. I mean, he tries it. He's a constant threat. His cleverness, his technique, obviously a player we know well, but you look at him, he deserves that ovation. He's worked hard again, tirelessly, and such an effective performer.
Deep in conversation with his manager. They exchange a hug, they exchange a smile. Crystal Palace haven't been able to force a breakthrough, but nor have Manchester United, who've had the majority of this game. Certainly in the first half, it remains 0-0, and a minute of added time is almost gone. So 3 minutes and a little bit remaining. 08 085 909 693 is the number to dial for 6:06. And don't forget those 2 Premier League commentaries tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Brighton against Nottingham Forest. Both teams have had really good starts to the season. Manchester City, Arsenal, mouth-watering clash. 4:30. John Murray and Leon Osman will bring you the commentary. Schlupp running forward for Palace. Support on his left from Mitchell. Palace getting players in the box. Mitchell's ball in. Chested down by Schlupp, but it takes him away from goal. Mazraoui's able to clear. Garnacho can't get to it. Richards keeps the attack going for Palace. Mitchell's still there on the left-hand side. Clever little pass back to Schlupp. Schlupp still surrounded by white shirts. Does well. Crossed to Sarr at the near post. Couldn't force it home. The angle was tight. Palace have won a late corner.
Schlupp's a great sub to make. He's a defender, but he can play wide. I had him on loan earlier, many years ago. Great pace going forward, so he's a lovely sub to have in these late stages. He showed that quality there. Big moment in the game.
Yeah, big moment in the game coming now as well. 2 minutes of added time remaining. Listen to the noise inside Selhurst Park. Can they find a late winner? Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Drama being built here by Will Hughes, who's very slowly making his way, deliberately placing the ball on the corner of the quadrant. 5 Palace players in a line like they're queuing for a bus on the penalty stop. Will Hughes with that corner into the far post. Onana gets a hand on it. Garnacho's there, whacks it away with his left foot. Manchester United player down, hurt inside the penalty area. Play continues. Ball loose on the halfway line. Referee had to stop the game. Lissandro Martinez was down holding his head. So was Mark Gay.
Yeah, both down. Mark Gay's up. A good goalkeeping. He came for the ball, got the important clearance, and Garnacho cleared the area. But again, good finish by Palace. They're finishing the game strongly. And I'm not sure how much is wrong with Martinez here, if I'm honest.
Martinez back on his feet, walking out of the penalty area. Minute to play. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. Palace have the ball. Down the right they come. Sarr's little pass can't find Kamada. Dallow's clearance hits Sarr, goes out for a throw in to Manchester United. Dallow wanted to take it quickly. The referee points him back towards the Manchester United penalty area to take it. Martinez is getting booed. He passes across the Manchester United defence to De Ligt. Mazraoui slides a ball forward to Garnacho, comes back to Bruno Fernandes. His ball forward blocked by Tyreek Mitchell. I think it's going to end 0-0.
It looks that way now, very surprisingly, Ali, but there's been some good individual performances this afternoon on both teams as well. But just looking at Darlow, again, a very consistent performer, goes under the radar, but so much good work done. But it's been a very entertaining 0-0, shall we say.
Here's De Ligt inside his own half. Can anyone fashion a late chance here? 6:06 is on the way. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage taking the calls through until 8:30. And then Jonathan Overend will pick up from Wembley. Joshua Dubois tonight. Full commentary on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Will Hughes volleys it forward. Sarr tries to control it. Can't do that. Dallow's ball to Rashford. Rashford caught, I think, by Lacroix. He'll get booked. Manchester United get a late set piece. It's a long way out. I mean, it's not shooting range, obviously. It's 45 yards from goal. But it's a chance just to put a final bit of pressure on the Palace defence.
This has to go in. Quality of ball will be key, Ali. This has to go into a key area, and you've got the lights to lit to attack it. So again, Palace do their job defensively and see this game out.
Palace 0, Manchester United 0. We are beyond the 4 minutes of added time. Oliver Glasner, the Palace manager, hopping around anxiously, wanting to get his defence in the right position. Bruno Fernandes will take the all-important free kick for Manchester United. De Ligt, the danger man. looking to start a run towards the far post. Fernandez aims it towards him. Up in the air it goes. De Ligt jumps, beaten in the air, headed away. The full-time whistle blows at Selhurst Park, and it finishes goalless between Crystal Palace and Manchester United. Crystal Palace more in it in the second half. Andre Onana made one fabulous double save, particularly the second save to deny Ismail Assar, but Manchester United struck the crossbar twice in the first half. They were in top pretty much throughout, and I think they will leave a little frustrated, Mark Warburton.
Absolutely, and a warm applause by the home fans here tells you they're happy with a point. They've seen their team under the cosh for such long periods of this game. They were dominated by a good, fluid United team, certainly the first hour, but they've seen the game out, they've ridden it, they've created some chances of their own, and a valuable point for them.
So Manchester United stay 11th in this Premier League table, level on points with Tottenham behind them on goal difference. The point for Palace takes them 2 clear of the bottom 3, level on points with Leicester and Ipswich. They'll move above Ipswich on goal difference. Players shaking hands out on the field at Selhurst Park. 6:06 is on the way shortly. Let's just round up.